Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Banlist Day. I have not even read this ban list, guys. So, we're gonna talk about it live. Hopefully bring on some people. Happy Banlist Day. I was literally just doing laundry. I'm fucking 20 minutes late, dude. New ban list, new ban list. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get some hype in the fucking chat for Banlist Day. You fucking love to see it. I was literally doing laundry. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's fucking do this. I'm just switching right to it, dude. All right. So, excuse me with the robe. Excuse me with the robe. You are going to have to forgive me. I have not actually gotten up for my day. I was about to get a video out, but this is more important now. So let's talk about this. So apparently there is a Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. Let's see what is going on here. I was gonna change the title because I already know, guys. Branded best motherfucking deck. That's the only spoiler I know, is that I'm pretty sure there's only one significant branded hit. And it's no Fav. That's all I have to say is no Fav. Like Fav haters in fucking shambles, dude. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, so I do apologize about the robe, but I swear I have underwear on, don't worry. So yeah, that's a great transition, right? So let's talk about this. I'm gonna do a little bit reaction and hopefully I'll have some people coming through. But yeah, let's talk about this ban list. So on the forbidden list, Noroi got banned. Okay, well, you know what? Instead of Ripper getting banned, sure, dude. Like, sure. Naturia Rose Whip? Thank you, Konami. Yeah, what about pre-hits to Kill Tune? Yeah, we're talking about pre-hits to Cool Tune. Konami has gotten so good at doing stuff like that. So, good for them. And see, the Chaosic Seas Gimmick Puppet Fantinix? Like, I guess, sure. Just get rid of Gimmick Puppet FTK. Why not, dude? Like, it's been out of the meta for 2 years, but it's okay. So, yeah, that's for the ban list. We do have some people in the call. I'll get to you guys once I just read off this list and what your opinions are on the list. I'll read some chats too. What's up, Angro? What's up, EPA? Yeah, guys, 71 people in the chat. Let's fucking go. Share the stream. Leave a like. I do appreciate it. Let's get more people in this party here. Also, fucking premature burial is legal again. That's the first time in, like, how long since premature burial's been legal? Alright, so limited, Cupsy, buy Cups. Yo, Fairy Tale Snow! I was just talking about this to someone a second ago, that Fairy Tale Snow is getting fucking limited. Like, this list or the next list. Oh, White Rabbit 2. Cupsy Yummy Way to 1. Okay, sure, why not, dude? Branded Fusion to 1. No! I'm so glad I didn't buy the QCR branded Fusion. Holy shit. Sorry to that one guy, but I remember the one guy came in to chat the one day. They're like, yeah, I'll send you my QCR branded Fusion. And then it's like, you know what? I'll hold off until a ban list happens. I also heard from my man, Kantian here that Draco Tal's dead. So I gotta see what oh, Rahu. Yeah, Rahu to 1. That'll do it, I guess. And then Radiant Typhoon Chant. That's a good hit for MST. Shout out to people who were coping and said MST did not need a hit. Definitely needed a hit. Synchro Overtake to 1. Yo, what the hell is going on with these fucking Cool Tune hits? We're already hitting Cool Tune out the gate. And Metamorphosis to 1. So 2 unbanned cards already. That's so cool. This limited list is literally peak. Branded Fusion to 1 obviously is the biggest implication here for us on the channel, but we're going to talk about everything with the people in the call and the people in the comments too. So make sure to leave a like on the video. We got almost 100 people in the chat. So Brand Fusion to 1 changes nothing. This just makes it so Draco Tal gets hit, and like other decks like Lunalight and Draco Tal can't just splash in Branded Engine. I mean, they probably still will, but yeah, I mean, those are good hits. And then let me get to the semi-limited, and then we'll talk about we'll bring in everyone from the call. So Draco Tal, Lucius, and Altharion. Oh, Connor, this is why you said Draco Tal's dead. Got it. Yeah, has anyone ever been more justified than me in my Draco Tal hate? Like, people called me so crazy for saying Draco Tal's not a fair deck, and it looks like Konami agreed. I'm sorry, but I don't mean to take a victory lap, especially since we have a Draco Tal god in this call right now, but you know, it's okay. So guys, who do we have here right now? We have Magic Geek and Kantian. What did you guys think of the ban list?
I thought it was great as a mid-2 player, no hits. Hey, can't complain.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say, Magic Geek?
Oh, I was about to say, like, how is it like one of the best and simultaneously one of the worst ban lists that we've probably seen in the last couple of years, right? Because I mean, most of the time, most of these hits don't do anything besides almost want to kill K9, but not really, and then have a massive consistency hit to DT.
Oh, that's that good shit.
All right. So let me I'm changing over the audio. But yeah, no, that was not the hit I was expecting. Like Sonic Rage, what's up, my goat? I know as the resident VSK9 player in the chat, how did you feel about Noroi getting banned instead of something like a Ripper ban? Okay, it's so I'll repeat it for the chat since you're all, I was switching the audio. It was basically an audio clip of saying we don't give a fuck about that boy. So oh shit, he's got the hue hat for no road. Yeah, so this is still synchro format though. So I mean, what are the biggest implications here? Like, do you think VSK9 is dead, Sonic, as someone probably not, right? Like, do you just not play the K9 cards, or do you still? I mean, you have to, because of Rip. Like, Noroi wasn't even a card.
Yeah, if you play Nori, I mean, yeah, you took away a limit your hand, but like, who cares? Like, okay, I can't get your hand now. What you do?
Yeah, dude. Like, I was gonna say, I'm actually really glad about that, because VSK9 to me has always felt like the more of the fair of the Justice Hunter decks, like ever since the Paradise Smashers ban. So I was kind of happy with that. Like it's a deck that's easy to interact with, so I don't mind like decks like that. Yeah, the Noroi hit. Yeah, getting rid of the hand look. Maybe that's just gonna be like a pattern we see. Like the next ban list, we see like the Cool Tune hand look get banned or something like that. Yeah, what do you guys think in the chat? But so guys, Jimmy or Mr. Portal Spirit, what did you think of the ban list as a branded player and someone who plays a bunch of other decks? My goat.
All right, so I kid you not, right? I looked at the brand list, saw Branded Fusion to 1. I'm like, all right, cool. I wasn't really resolving Branded Fusion like that anyway. I didn't care. But then I was like, oh, Cupsy to 1. Sure, I played Tri Brigade, Yummy. I don't care. I saw Cupsy Yummy Way to 1, and I was like, oh, it's the second Cupsy Yummy Way that's the problem. I get it. This ban list is crazy good. I'm looking at Fairy Tale Snow, and I'm thinking to myself, like, of all the hybrid builds that I can make, brother, I can make a 60 card branded Mitsurugi list, and it's just because Snow is legal. I'm telling you, Snow being back in the format, you're going to see some creativity and you're going to see some toxicity, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say, I was literally talking to somebody 20 minutes before the ban list. Like, I think actually when the ban list dropped, but I didn't notice it dropped. We were talking about how, like, Fairy Tale, like, Snow is definitely coming off the list, like, either this list or next, as a way to buff the deck. Because, like, what is Fairy Tale Snow doing in today's game? There is no mill deck in the game. Like, so it's not gonna be a card that, like, runs rampant like it did, I guess, in tier limit format. I don't know. Like Grass is a card, but I think Fairy Tale Snow is a totally fair card to come back at this point. Like, we'll see if we regret it. Like, that card's been banned and unbanned multiple times, but yeah, no, like, are there any interesting hits that you guys found on this ban list? I'm not happy with Fantonex, Machinex being banned. Oh no, we found the one gimmick puppet player in the chat. No, I get it.
No. Oh no.
Dude, they hate gimmick puppet players. I'm sorry, they just do. Like,
Bro,
I will
they-
say Rose Whip is an interesting ban. I
No,
mean,
it's
like
perfect.
No, it
actually
needs to be
reading the
banned.
card,
That
I
needs to
get
be
it.
banned.
But
Yeah, I was like, you must have not gone against a K2 player that's just slammed down Rose Whip and then said pass.
admittedly, no,
Nah.
I haven't. I haven't had enough time to actually play much anymore.
Q2
Brother,
look like it's
that
gonna
just
be
happened to
the.
me at locals last week, brother. I'm telling you, it's literally just normal summon Q summon. I was like, oh, okay, I just scoop up now, brother.
yeah, it
Oh
sucks.
no.
Yeah,
Q2 is
like,
definitely gonna be the meta deck for sure.
We were talking about Snow being unbanned in the first place. Do we think that this might be obviously not like a outright resurgence of tier limits, but could it at least be like a sign of like it being on the fringe of the format?
There's no way it comes back.
yeah, they
Sorry.
need more
Too many
names.
hits.
They need
Yeah.
more names. Like, they need to kick
That makes
close or just more names to even do anything at this point. Like, it was last relevant when, like, Beatrice was legal, and then, like, Beatrice got banned and tier limits fell off a fucking cliff.
I'm just thinking about it. Like they needed to actually bring back Snow because with the new fairy tale cards when they came out, because I was just building the deck for the future when Chaos, whatever it called, Chaos Origin comes out. The one spell card that they gave you summons from grave, banish, and deck, but there's not really a way to banish a card in that deck. So this makes sense that they finally did it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The fairy tale snow thing, I didn't know if it would happen, but I was just like, it is something that I'm happy about. Like, that card's like actually just like a cool card, and like now fairy tale will become a deck in the meta that people have to actually like prep for, because I just don't think the deck was real without fairy tale snow in the game as like
Yeah.
one of its best interrupts.
Dude, I figured it was going to happen. I literally ordered it 2 days ago. I was like, I'm going to order a playset because I swear to God, this card is coming back and people are going to want it.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man.
It's very exciting in my opinion, this ban list. In my opinion, like this is like a 9 out of 10 ban list, dude.
It's very
Like
good. It's very good.
yeah, like even you say that, Connor,
It
is
was a
like
weak balance?
as a Draco Tal player, Connor, how do you feel about these hits? Like, is the because
I-
you already said in the chat, but do you think this kills Draco Tal? Do you think it's still a
I
good
think
deck?
like just putting multiple like you need the spells and traps, and just not having them anymore, it does just kill it. Like even consistency wise, but like you just don't have the spells to set anymore. Your grind game becomes garbage. Maybe as an engine, I can see it as an engine still, but as a deck completely, it's dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll probably just go back to being branded Dracotel, and at that point, it'll just be more worth it to run pure branded.
Honestly.
Oh yeah, pure branded's like way better at deck at this point, I think, without having like the hard open Rahus and stuff like that. And branded literally just almost it won 3 out of 4 nationals, and then the 4th national it got 2nd place. Like I'm actually somewhat surprised branded did not get hit harder than that.
Yeah,
But I
I'm
was full
extremely
blown
surprised
expecting
without
Fallen of
Sanctifier.
Virtues to win.
I wasn't expecting Sanctifier because the card is not even ran in the
Yeah.
branded deck itself. It's only really Draco Tal it's being ran in. So that did not surprise me personally, even though they did just finally reprint it. And like people just want that card banned for like the sins of Ido and Gimmick Puppet, but like, you know, oh sorry, what were you gonna say, Connor?
Like those cards are gone. Like it's fine. Like you know, like you have Ido still, but like you're not playing it for that, so it's fine. Like whatever.
And
Yeah,
there's
Yeah,
so
like,
like
many
there's
ways about it.
Chrysia, but like that's a Fav issue if anything. And I'm
Which
so
it didn't get hit. Didn't get hit, mind you.
how did Fav not get hit? Like everyone, like I'm not saying like I wasn't calling for it, but I would have understood because of how many. But I'm kind of glad that like this is what I was talking about, where I'm like, give us a format with Fallen in the Virtuous where it is at 3 without Draco Tal Flame and MST Mandate in the meta, because in my guess is people stop shoving Fallen in the Virtuous into every deck. Now it might just end up being where it's a better card than Droplet and Super Poly and people still continue to run it, but I don't think that will be the case. Like I think people will transition to like Crowns and Super Poly this format
Yeah.
over Fav, when like Fav isn't like it's an okay card into Cool Tune, but it's really just like a 1-for-1 against Zaylin against that deck. Like it's not actually
True.
like that good in my opinion into this new format if there's no Draco Tal Flame that you need to use to dodge all of your effects. So I mean, are you guys okay? Like how do you guys feel about those branded hits as like you know, non-branded, or I guess you all are technically branded players on some level. Like I just think branded is positioned to be like the second best deck with this ban list next to Cool Tune, and Cool Tune got hit on this ban list. Like they no longer. Oh, sorry.
The Synchro Overtake was a great hit in my opinion. I really like that hit because I was calling for it anyways. It's the only thing that makes sense because it's the only card that's like printed so far out that you could hit it. You know what I mean? So like I really liked it.
Yeah, it's. Do you think that's like actually
Maybe
a
I'm-
significant hit into the Cool Tune deck? Like, I wish Brandon
The
was
deck
here.
the deck is really bricky anyways because you have to play so many hand traps and like yeah sure hand traps are engine but you have to open a starter and not all starters with the tuners do something, you know what I mean? So like if I stop your mix you can make remix and pass and then you're like oh this doesn't do anything, you know what I mean? So it's like it just makes it more bricky which is good I guess.
Yeah, okay. And Angra, what's up, my Italian stallion? How do you feel about this ban list?
What's up, you guys?
How's it going, brother?
What's
Happy ban list day and happy branded being best deck. What's your
I
opinion?
was in the middle of it. It's pretty funny. I actually learned about the ban list, because I was in the middle of a DB match against a Qtune player, and he told me the ban list just dropped. So we were in the middle of the side deck, and we took like 2 minutes to read each other's hits, and we were like super. That was super funny. I'll shout him out in the chat because he was a pretty chill dude.
Did you win?
Tokaya Adaki. It was, yeah, I won because he basically saw my hand, and off Albion I drew the Aluber, and I forced all the interruptions because it was playing around Super Poly, and I normaled Aluber, and he had only goes the Mullet chill, and I went for game. So yeah, but it was a pretty chill dude. So as far as the ban list goes, yeah, I was pretty scared of OG Albas going to 1, but I'm perfectly okay with Branded Fusion to 1.
Yeah, like especially as a branded player yourself, Angra, who's gotten pops with the deck, like this hit does nothing in my opinion. Like I was like are you surprised about Fav not getting hit, or like something like along the lines of like Sanctify? Some people were saying branded fusion ban, and in my opinion that was just never going to happen, even if it's maybe the correct hit, because branded can play without it. But I don't think it being at 1 makes it so you can't just run it in every deck as like two of your best cards.
Yeah, actually, I thought about the Fallen the Vicious was never going to get hit on the ban list, because that is the fairest card that I've ever seen in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it is a interruption, it requires extra deck space, and replaces itself. It's one of the if they hit this card, Konami is run by monkeys. I really don't have anything else to say about it. But the thing that I was most worried about was, like, again, OG Alba's the one, but that was never going to happen. The next hit that was realistically going to happen was Fallen Individuals. No, Fallen Individuals. I mean, the High Spirits to 1, maybe. But even then, I mean, we have so many engines, so many search cards that realistically, even if they hit the High Spirits, it really doesn't do anything. So I was considering Fallen of the White Dragon to 1 and the High Spirits to 1. But other than that, I mean, if they put Brand Fusion to 1, it doesn't really do anything to us.
I was gonna say, like, we have never seen a deck get hit, I think, off of, because like Branded was topping, but it was like the 6th most topping deck at most since the new Fall in the White cards came out. It was mainly a Dracotal issue. If you look at the numbers, Dracotal has been the best deck in the last 8 months. Like, it has the most tops, the most wins, like maybe not the most YCS wins, but it has an aggregate of the most tops. So like hitting the cards that Dracotal use, in my opinion, was the smart move. And Branded Fusion to 1 doesn't really affect branded players themselves, because we already run like a Luber. We run opening. Maybe some builds don't at this point, but like I think with that at being 1, like it will make branded players make a hard choice now. Are you gonna really cut off your only access to Branded Fusion for Nadir now? Like I think I prefer that diversification, especially inside of like a Harmonia Ogre like format where like the synchro line isn't as good. So I just felt like it was a really smart hit on the like I was fully expecting Branded Fusion to go to 1, because in my opinion it was like it made sense when it came off, but like no, I don't think Konami foresaw Dracotal branded being that good with it at 2. So like they saw that mistake, and then it went back, and overall like that hurts Draco Tal branded way harder in my opinion, right? I mean, were there
that deck, that deck is Dracotail needed to be gone. They want to push more synchro decks, so realistically the old decks had to get hit even more. I'm surprised only Malice got hit by the white rabbit only hit. So yeah, I was also surprised by that. But
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
how
just
much
made
more can you hit Malice? I mean,
Yeah,
they
but I
have
say, yo, how
Roadhouse
much
the
can you-
one, they have White Rabbit the one, they have
Yeah.
no White Blind.
Yo,
Brother, I'm at the point that they could probably ban every Malice name to 0 and they could still play Malice, bro.
That's
that was a
crazy.
non-malice
Yeah,
hit. Honestly, Rabbit to 1 is a non-malice hit. It was at 2 before, right? Like
Yeah.
that's not doing it. Like Malice can still win a YCS, I think. Like it's just a
Guys, I'm
slight hit.
telling
Yeah.
you, it's the second
Especially with
cupsy yummy way.
Snowback.
Yeah,
Especially with Snowback, even
especially
just at 1.
dude, they can run 60 card grass Malice now. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if they would, but like
nuts.
maybe like with like
I mean,
Mitsu
on
stuff
one
and
hand, what are the
Fiendsmith.
odds that they would want to actually, trigger all 5 or whatever it is names in one go? Because, ordering matters and all that shit. But I mean, still, like, come on, man.
Yeah, Sammy K, what's up? Also, nice to see you, EPA. Yeah, if anyone wants to join the call and talk about the ban list, feel free about it. But Metamorphosis equals invoked Kali Yuga. Doesn't putting Branded Fusion at 1 make it so you have an extra spot in the deck for a consistency or just broken card? I mean, yeah, we do have another slot in the deck. I mean, some people were already only running 1 Branded Fusion, so it just depends on the build. We swapping out second Branded Fusion
just became a card buy.
Yeah, honestly, dude, that's like a way to put it, or just another like a Nadir, right? Like Nadir could just quite
slap a
literally.
Nadir.
Yeah.
Just slap a Nadir in there. 1 Nadir in the main and 2 in the side deck. And what's the worst thing that
Oh,
that
you
can
know what?
happen?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Doing that right now. Thank you.
Yeah, I think like offhand,
No problem, buddy.
I would be playing a Nadir in that spot just to keep up the consistency, I guess. Zay the Prophet, Rahu to 1 feels a little harsh. Would have preferred Lucius to 1 or Rahu to 2. Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely, it's kind of like Connor said, I think there's, like, not really any point in playing Draco Tal now, unfortunately, but also I felt like that deck was just, like, a design nightmare. Like, why didn't Rahu not just lock you for the whole turn, or just, like, stuff like that, or into Draco Tal names, I don't know.
Is Branded Fusion currently the only fusion card that locks you out of the entire turn? Only relevant one, let me add that.
In our deck?
No, like, period, throughout the game. Because I know a lot of them will lock afterwards, but not for the entire turn like Brafu does.
I
know
wonder.
you're asking me.
I don't know.
If it gets
Right
Ashley,
now.
you're still locked. If you get Ashley, you're still locked on the fusion.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Oh, yeah, so interestingly enough, I guess pivoting to some of more of the general stuff that could have happened, because I'll ask you guys what hits do you think that they missed, and let me know in the chat, please, too, as well. But no Ash hit and no Droll hit, or no Shifter hit and no D-Fissure hit. Those are all... I'm surprised on some level there isn't one card. Like, what do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I think the
I'm really scared.
But...
Sorry, you can go.
Oh, okay. I think Di-Fi would have been like the only hit I would. I think Ash and Droll are fine, like whatever. But I think Di-Fi should definitely got hit to 0 in all reality. But
That I'm surprised about is first of all Noroi getting hit instead of Ripper, but most importantly, I don't see Lunalight hits anywhere. I'm really scared.
I just to answer the question somebody asked earlier. There's only 3 other cards in the game that lock. Well, actually 4. Keeper of Dragon Magic, EN Engage Neospace, and Fusion Deployment, and Mega Void City are all cards that lock you into fusions the turn you activate that card.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, deployment is never going back in branded again.
And never again. Maybe as a side card for going second.
I think in 60 cards.
Based off of that, Connor, do you think as far as like actual Draco Tail deck building goes for all the copers still out there, you think they'll do what we used to do for Branded and start playing thrusts instead?
yeah, I think it's gonna be more branded, and then sprinkle in like the Rahu, the Ketu, and then like have a couple Draco Tail with the Arthalion. Like that's it. Like it's not. It went from a Draco Tail branded to branded Draco Tail. If that makes sense.
It's what we used to do on the channel before everyone played branded Dracotal because branded Fusion went to 2. It's like you sprinkle in like 5 Dracotal names, like a single Ketu, and now I guess your single Rahu, and then maybe like a Flame, basically with like 1 Altharion, one Gulamel. I think that's basically what the play is now if you're playing that deck. Yo, Zay the Prophet, how's it going? What do you think of this ban list, King, as someone who plays Dracotal and branded?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were not wrong to hit Draco Tail, but I think they went about it a little bit weird. But they kind of went about it with all the decks a little bit weird. Like they kind of just like nuked all the Justice Hunter stuff, so it kind of makes sense. As far as where Draco Tail goes, I think if it does remain playable, Shaoless is going to be mandatory. You need it to shuffle back your one Rahu and all your one ups now. And yeah, you're probably, if you do see it, you're gonna see more branded cards in it. Maybe like branded openings, just because that gets you straight to branded fusion, which is still like the best one, best starter for that version of the deck, which is why they hit it to 1. So, but it's just not as good as pure branded. It's not a contest anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, like especially with the last 3 like Nats wins and almost a 4th Nats win, like I think it would be really hard pressed to even put Dracotal cards in your branded deck or just justifying playing Dracotal at this point, unfortunately. Like maybe we'll see like a hit get lifted off in a list or 2 when Dracotal doesn't do anything, but if we look at the OCG, we got pretty similar hits over. I think we have harsher hits than we do have in the OCG, and Dracotal basically does nothing now over there. So
I do want to say like as far as like the bands that we didn't see, like the D fissures and the shifters and different dimension ground, all of those cards being left off is pretty controversial, but I wonder if it's not right. They had a good excuse to do it as like a sort of optional way, like secondary way to like hit or like control the meta around cool tunes, if that makes sense, right? Like they could have said like, hey, like we know these cards are really annoying, and we can ban 1 or 2 of them and it'll make cool tunes better, but they didn't go in that direction. And I like how does that kind of like reflect where Konami's mindset is with these cards?
It is interesting because like I thought Droll would go to 1 like it did in the OCG, and I don't know if that happened in Master Duel yet, but I'm kind of glad that they're pumping the brakes a little bit on like the non-engine hits. Like I think D Fissure just probably should have gotten banned, but like also we saw the card fall off in usage as the format kind of progressed. Like a lot of people used it at the beginning and not so much anymore, so I feel like they just felt like it was not worth the bandwidth space on this ban list. But in the Ash, like Sammy was saying, if they would have hit Ash, it would have been years ago, and I kind of agree. But also the Mulcharmies like introduce a new dynamic where Ash is now kind of like a called by. But I made this point in my should Ash be banned video essay that it's still a good card going second into like decks like branded and decks that have a serious Ash choke point. So like it's still like it's not just like an FTK enabler, right? Like it's still like what happens if they ban Ash, right? Like some cards just get fucking absurd. So
Literally all the mulch armies, like they become a hell of a lot worse for a lot of decks than they already are.
Is Malice dead now? Can I take my Lancias out of the side? Oh, Malice is not dead, my friend. Like, Fairy Tale Snow just replaces the the White Rabbit. Is this Master Duel? No, it's not. So, Jesus Christ, it's a bloodbath. Yeah, I mean, I see like Julian Khan being like, is this the ban list that we wanted? And I'd assume Dracotal players aren't happy about the ban list, but I think anyone who's not a Dracotal player is pretty fucking happy about the ban list. Like Dracotal was kind of a very oppressive deck to play against with all of its non-targeting interruption. And then also just having like several different branded fusion kind of cards that just made it like you don't have 3 Ash Blossoms. Like not every deck runs Impulse, so it's just like I'm overall happy with where they put Dracotal in VSK9. Ooh, Yummy. We didn't talk a lot about Yummy. who are like the Yummy players in the call? Do you guys think that Yummy is still? I was gonna say it's just you. Do you think
Honestly,
Yummy?
I don't think Yummy's been hit that much.
Bro, this all right, ready? This just made it that all right, cool. I no longer play 3 cups of Yummy. I just play 1 cups of Yummy and what an extra cookie and an extra lollipop. It's still a 1 card starter. And oh no, it's the second cups of Yummy way that really seals the deal. It's a card I was never playing at 2.
Am I the only one who thinks that the Yummy way limit is like a warning? Because like it makes no difference.
No, not at all. Like, and it's like here's the thing, right? Because my full blown expectation was they were going to hit Cups of Yummy way to 0, because then the only version of Yummy, sorry, the only 2 versions of Yummy you can play is Pure or Tri Brigade, because Tri Brigade's the only other one that can search Yummies through its own combo. So this, I mean, this did nothing. Yummy is still going to be in the same spot that it was. It's just it's no longer. Oh, I'm just going to normal summon the Cupsy, or they just have the Cupsy. I have another 1 card starter still.
But,
I think
it does make you a little bit more susceptible. I mean, you already were susceptible to Cool Tune shenanigans, but now you have another one of in your extra deck that can get.
You're just done if it's gone.
Oh sure.
Yeah,
It's still technically on 4. Copsy though, including the maps. So.
Yeah, but with Q-Tune all around the meta, the Yummy is going to be unplayable. I mean, good luck trying to go for synchro lines with all the Q-Tunes increasing your levels by 1 or 2. Good luck.
That's why I say the Tri Brigade version is going to be the better version to play, because that you go through your link lines through Tri Brigade plays.
Yeah, sure.
Break through.
Someone will find a way.
And get rid of you just get rid of RS when you get to that point, but you just got to play through it.
Yeah, sure.
But you're 100% right. It does make it just slightly more susceptible to hand traps, and it's just a lot more susceptible to what Crackle, I think it is, that banishes 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banishes
So I get
1.
that.
But even the main deck one that gets like a random banish, also scary to deal with now.
Sure. But
Just
I think Yummy's gonna be fine. I mean, it's not gonna be played anyway because of the level modulation. But yeah, if they are gonna play it, you're gonna see a lot more Radiant Typhoon Tri Brigade Yummies.
I saw someone say they just deleted Justice Hunters from the game. I mean, it was about time for the Justice Hunter decks to not have a lock grip on the meta, but I think VSK9 is still probably a top five, at least a top 10 deck. I think Yummy, same, like for sure. Like until a card gets banned in Yummy, I have a hard time finding that deck to be in a bad position, except, you know, obviously Cool Tune just kind of fucks that deck really hard. It is a terrible Cool Tune matchup for the reasons that we just kind of stated. Happy that Fallen and the Virtuous is still at 3. I wanted to continue something off of what Angra was saying. Like every single time I use Fallen the Virtuous, it feels like the fairest card in the world because once again of the requirements, but it always like it's like a 1-for-1, but it buys you a turn. Like it lets you play in the end phase, but it's not like super poly or like evenly, where it just, I guess evenly is similar in that respect, but I always felt like it makes the game go on longer on some level. Like it's not a card that just like cheats your way into like a game win ever. I don't think it was always the Draco Tal Flame interaction that I felt like people were mad about, and that was I mean it was just a requirement to play around Flame if you had a spell-based deck, right? Like VSK9 didn't have to run Fav because they don't have spells to resolve, but so many other decks do. 60 card Grass Fairy Tale Snow branded. I am looking forward to shoving a Fairy Tale Snow in my branded deck. So for sure.
Yeah, I was about to ask if we're on Fairy Tale Snow.
In 60 card for sure.
Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to put Fairy Tale Snow yet. I have to think about ideas about using it, but currently what we have is very good. Because the Brand Diffusion lines with Branded Sword is more powerful than sending the Fairy Tale Snow to the graveyard, honestly.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's why I would only run the 60 card to like mill off a Grass or something, but
Okay. If you're running 60 cards with Grass, that's some of the story. But in the current builds that we have, Fairy Tale Snow doesn't really do anything.
I agree with that. I think it would actually hurt your grind game more playing in 40 cards. Keeps Gaming, sad day here, brother. We only have one branded hit. I mean, I get with the branded fusion, but it felt like a sacrificial lamb. Like I will take a branded fusion limit every day of the week over a Fav being limited. Like honestly, like I use Fav like multiple times a game. I only use one branded fusion a game, you know? Like, yeah, it's nice to hard open branded fusion, but guys, like, you guys know how it goes. Like, if we go through the synchro line, it's a dead card in our hand. So like maybe this makes our deck more consistent going first. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just
we
confused
also
as to why
gotta
people think it's a
remember.
problem. We did it before. We had branded fusion to one before, and we were still either A, winning some events, or B, we were still like topping some events for a little bit. Like even with branded fusion to one, we were fine before. We'll just do it again. Now we got better cards while we do it. Like what?
Yes,
Where we
sir.
at?
I was
Here's
about to
my
say the
fear with
exact same
this. Here's
thing.
my fear with this is that we got away with one on this list, and branded was already like doing very well in the format, in the previous format even, starting to creep up, and now it's projected to be top 2, top 3 decks in the format. And so when the next ban list eventually comes a couple months down the line, right? How much is this like us skating here going to cost us later? You know, because if we're saying like Fab doesn't deserve to get hit, then now we're talking about White Dragon getting hit, which feels kind of crazy, being that it just came out.
The only way
Absolutely.
that gets really bad is if when they hit Fav, they hit high spirit swell as well. Because 90% of the time, I'm just gold sarking or I'm high spiriting to Fav. So even if they were to hit it to one, as long as they don't hit high spirits or Mercurial or whatever, or what is it, the bird, Cocacatorum, whatever it's called. Like we
Kakatorium.
have ways to get the white dragon instead of just hard opening it. So I mean, I don't think it does that much.
Yeah, absolutely. I really have no problems with branded fusion to one. Let me tell you this: I would not be surprised if branded gets another top, like instant next national gets into the top 4 easily. I would not be surprised. This branded
Brand,
fusion hit is nothing.
Brandit wins YCS Columbus next week.
That's my
Yeah,
choice to
Yo.
win the event. Besides, it's either Cold Tune or Branded. I actually think those two decks are above and beyond every other deck in the game right now.
So
Yeah,
I wasn't
definitely.
going to go next week, but now I'm considering it. So
You
Does
should. I
anyone
gotta
think
see you.
Synchro Overtake makes a difference?
The Synchro Overtake hit to
as
Cool
long as
Tune.
as long as the next Banlist doesn't come before the European Championship, I'm good because I will have to skip nationals due to work. But the European Championship, I will be there, and as long as they do not do anything stupid to branded before that, I'm good.
I
I'm gonna say
officially.
that the meta is looking pretty kind of defined in two halves. There is going to be, I think, the decks that like Cool Tune, and then the decks that have a good matchup in the Cool Tune, which I think is going to be obviously branded, but then also because they didn't hit D Shifter, D Fissure,
SK9, baby.
Yeah,
yeah,
VSK9's
decks like
looking really
K9
good.
and Malice,
Yes,
like those are
sir.
going to be right up. Mitsu,
Doomsday?
Because before the support that Q-Tune's got, bro, I was slapping Q-Tune with VSK9. So it's gonna be a little more
Yeah.
challenge, but I still think it'll be all right though against
Yeah.
them.
To be fair about the SK9, think about it for a second. We only have one Jokul to spam 2 level 5s immediately. Otherwise, we have to rely on the opponent spamming hand traps so we can Izuna into Lupus and into Reaper. But if we want to get to the K9 engine, we have to like slap 2 level 5s with Holy Sue and another level 5 and pray that the opponent doesn't interrupt us before that. So it's going to be a bit tough for VSK9 to get rid to go from here because Noroi was the main thing that got us the double level 5 immediately.
Also,
I mean,
It'll
This might
definitely
sound
be a skill
controversial,
check moment
but
now.
like KT players are bad at the game as it is, from what I saw at the Philadelphia Regional this weekend. So they're going to just throw hand traps at you anyway. So let them.
I've
but my
heard it's
thing is,
actually.
I mean,
That is pretty
oh, man.
based. We rely on the opponents being stupid. That's the game plan. I know.
Dude, I
But
mean, honestly, that's all I saw.
Nori's not really. I mean, we use it, but it's never used as a. I could just say it's a quick whatever. But I do other stuff before about Nori, so like I'm saying, it's not that big of a hit. They really hit it just because of the hand rip, but I don't feel like it hurts us by not having Nori. Yeah, it does have a quick 2-2-5s, but there's other ways to get 2-5s on the field too. Still, so like I would
Dude, they
think
were
it
playing
hurts a little bit, but
Noroi.
not crazy.
They were putting Noroi to 1 in some lists. I remember after last ban list.
Yes,
Like,
and some there's none. Some there's
Yeah.
none.
Yeah, like I actually don't. That's almost like a non-hit to VSK9. I'm actually surprised Ripper did not get banned, but that deck is going to be very good still. So I'm never going to time to pick up the Pretty Elf deck. That's also the thing we forgot about. Elf Notes. Elf Notes is going to be one of the best decks for sure. A top 5 deck.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. Malice top 5 decks. I'd definitely say it's in the top 10. I think Malice already struggled with consistency. And it does kind of get slammed to Nib at the moment. So I do think it will be definitely in the top 10. Also, Doom Z is looking pretty good with this kind of ban list, especially with Premature Burial back. I'm not sure if that is going to go into Doom Z or not, but it is an equip card that they can tutor out. You can play Duelist Genesis to compensate Overtake to 1, and it also searches Cool Tune Synchro. Okay, so Overtake wasn't even a hit because like I saw it, like my man Brandon, who just won a regional with the deck, was literally running Duelist Genesis, I think, over Overtake.
Yeah, but
Anyways.
it makes the deck a little bit more susceptible to draw because right now they don't really care because they just already hard open Synchro Overtake or they had Cool to Synchro. So at least with this, it kind of like makes it that if they have to open up Duelist Genesis instead of the Cool to Synchro and they want to extend like that, they are more susceptible to draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I'm always an advocate for Droll saying that too, because then you have decks that go unpunished like KT because Droll is at 1.
Also,
I have a question.
Mitsurugi.
I have a question. Does Rotary is Rotary able to be activated on the draw?
No, because you have to look at the hand and then add, right? So if you can't add to hand, you can't activate it. You have to be able to do both parts.
Okay, thank you.
Mitsurugi best deck. Yeah, I do think that Mitsurugi is looking really good. It was already looking insane because they get to run Spark now. And did the Armageddon card come out in Blazing Dominion, or is that Chaos Origins? Like I think it's Chaos Origins they're getting that. So yeah, Mitsurugi.
What, the extra that ritual card thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Chaos.
Mitsu gets to abuse every hand trap. They can play, if you're playing pure, you can play the new Harmonia. Like you can do whatever you want. It's really open ended. There's so much potential with the sort of non-engine lineup with Mitsu.
As I've been playing against Mitsu recently, I've been seeing that it's not as toxic as I thought it was going to be, but it's still like a really good deck. It's kind of nice to see that it didn't get hit on the ban list. So I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Fallen in the Virtuous wasn't being taught. Fallen in the Virtuous. Sorry, let me just Fallen in the Virtuous wasn't being talked about in the ban list for grind game. It was because it's a called buy for turn 1. I completely disagree with this. Like we should be banning Book of Eclipse at that point, right? Like it does this, like it's a called buy versus like versus an impermanent Veiler, which are already like some of the worst types of hand traps at this point. So I don't know. Like I think people just wanted it out because people were running it, and people were running it because of Flame. So like I don't think it's gonna be really as much of an issue anymore.
I think it's the healthiest, one of the healthiest non-engine that we have in the game. So.
No, yeah, 100%. Especially considering like discounting the flame dodges and stuff like that. Like I mean, we're also coming into a format where targeted removal is starting to become less and less relevant. And so I feel like that's probably a very strict argument against actually doing anything to it. Also, I will say on a more personal note, as far as decks that I play, I'm just happy that I think I'm pretty sure it's Cool Tune. It could be Cool Tune and Elf Note in some capacity, but they also they're starting to make Red Dragon Archfiend slightly more playable. Still not good by any means, but they can still make it playable.
Yeah, someone was saying that they're just this ban list is right on time because they're trying to rotate out or make you buy Blazing Dominion. They did this last time with Ryzeal and Malice, where they like nuked Snake Eyes, I think like a week right after Ryzeal came out. So
yeah, this ban list, like you said, was right on time. It actually kind of started reigniting some of my faith into Konami, with as long as after they already like doled down all the faith that I had in them after they let Snake Eyes and Fiendsmith run around as long as they did.
So what do you guys think of Metamorphosis? Like I joined a bit late, so I don't know if you've discussed it yet.
I think it's a
Yo,
nothing burger. Like that card. I mean, maybe you get a Dragoon out, funny, haha. But if a card's not a
It's
one
just
card starter or like an engine requirement or a non-engine,
Yeah,
like you don't run it in your Yu-Gi-Oh decks anymore.
I guess it's just
It's gonna
nostalgic.
be
I was
funny
playing
to
Goat
see
last week.
it's gonna be funny to see Mitsurugi go down a Dragoon just because they had a level 8 on the field and they tributed it.
Now, what happens when Konami decides to print some sort of like light fiend that Metamorphosis cheats out?
That would be funny, but again, it's almost like an extender at that point, and like I just don't think it's high enough card quality at the moment for like things to or for it to actually see serious play. But we'll see. Maybe I'll eat my words on that. Yummy and
Basically, just cool nostalgia then.
yeah. I mean, I think Premature Burial has a much higher chance of being meta just because of Doomsy, and Doomsy's looking like one of the best decks too. By the way, like it just got third at Philly. That deck's very scary. It gets to main deck Retaliating C, which I don't think it would be doing anymore because Draco Tal being out of the meta. Although it does hit Cool Tune, so I do think that Retaliating C probably stays in people's side decks for maybe that reason. Yummy and Branded both got nothing burger limits. I basically agree with that, Sammy. Yummy already lost to KT extra tip because of Snatchy. Fantanax is my favorite. Why Branded Fusion to 1? That's mainly a Draco Tal hit, and also so they could double up on a Branded hit since like it just almost won 4 nationals in a row.
I just looked down at the chat and I saw somebody said no Caesar hit, and they just noticed that I personally don't see Caesar as being relevant as much anymore. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and for any of you guys, but that's most likely why.
I'm just genuinely happy Draco Tail's gone. It's so boring to play against.
Yeah.
It's a master duel. It was a nightmare. It was alright when it first came out, but then when everyone's on it, it's just absolutely.
The Banlist wasn't bad per se. I just feel like it was a little weak.
I am surprised things like D-Fissure didn't get banned, but like overall, like it maybe some of the limits kind of feel like, I mean, I don't know. I'm personally happy with it, but obviously everyone else will have their, like, what would you have liked to see in Stud Sonic, I guess, or I guess in addition to what happened, if you have any hits you think that they missed.
I mean, yeah, they should have hit like the what's it called, like Fisher or something, like a few more cards like those. Like I guess take Ripper out, but give us Harley Sue would have been cool, I guess.
DDG.
But,
yeah,
Well,
DDG.
you don't mind me asking.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I just hate DDG not being on this ban list. What were you gonna say, Portal?
I was just gonna ask, like, if you don't mind me asking here, does it really matter that those cards didn't get hit when the decks that hit that card was hurting are no longer going to be in the format? So does it matter?
I mean, it is
at that
true.
point?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like
Then eventually
another deck's
they're
gonna
like,
abuse
all right,
No, because those cards do still hit cool tunes. Like, there's gonna be people showing up to events with stuff like Malice and Mitsu and
Striker with DDG and
VS
Thrust.
Yeah, exactly. They're just gonna be siding 3 fissure and 3 different dimension ground, and it's gonna hurt cool tune. Pure branded's a bit better at navigating that, depending on the hand, but
We never cutting
it's
Merc.
still gonna be a thing.
Let's
We
be
never
honest, I
cutting Merc.
think they only didn't hit DDG just that way they didn't have to deal with a revolt of lab players.
Branded sucks?
To be honest, I really never gave a damn. Honestly, I never gave a damn about being hit by Shifter or DDG because we don't suffer much from that.
So the question is, do we go back to red or white now, or is it just fine? The deck just -1 fusion.
I'm not sure. I mean, red was already looking kind of good for a format that needs more fusion, and like Mirror Jade already being just like FTK versus Cool Tune. Like
Quick,
as you
somebody
guys
message
board.
Andre right now.
Yeah. VSK9 best decks is Cappuccino. Ripper is Thanos. That's hilarious. Malice is best deck. Branded sucks. I think you suck, Matt. Walbaz RDA is gooey. I think that I mean, we'll see. Like I think Walbaz will eventually probably catch a semi-limit or a limit, because we see that card just being splashed into like every deck. I really wish they put a proper lock on that card, but Konami is quite literally incapable of printing a proper lock in 2026. Like they just want every deck to be a slop fest, which is just like terrible card design. You need to have like trade-offs for running powerful cards, in my opinion. That's why I liked Branded Fusion, but it was also a card that was so like broad in its use that it could end, like it probably warranted that hit when Draco Tal came out. But I think that was mainly a Draco Tal issue. I can't wait to play Art Mage. I do think Art Mage is looking a little better with this kind of list, but I just think Elf No is just like the better deck.
On that note,
we kind of like
have you
glanced over
seen the
Chant.
Kamal Crook's recent deck profile of branded Elf Note?
Yeah, the 3 Wallbows, right? I mean, I didn't see the deck profile, but I assume it's just 3 Wallbows or whatever, or 2 Wallbows
Yeah,
and an
he's,
OG.
playing Phydralis Harmonia, a couple of other interesting techs, but yeah, Elf Note looks strong.
Yeah,
I will
Elf Note's
say,
definitely
going
top
back
3 deck.
to terrible card design, like, let's be honest here, Wildbows should have probably given a full turn lock like Branded Fusion does.
I mean,
honest.
the card's useless and branded if that happens, then, right? Because you can't even make Grand Guignol. But I like it should have. I don't know what it should have, what it should have locked. But yeah, I mean, I
Sending
agree.
for cost is the most broken part of that card.
That
should not have sent for cost.
Yeah, that's
That is
also
very
a
true.
thing. Like, yeah.
So, quick question. So, does Radiant Typhoon Chant being at 1 actually do anything to MST or no?
Doesn't do anything.
Barely.
That's what I figured. I'm like looking at that, and that's like that's the one hit that I'm looking at. And I'm like,
Why
nice
not
strike,
Vision?
but it did nothing.
Why not
Yeah, like,
Vision?
that's
Yeah,
what I
why
was
would it
thinking.
not be Vision?
Vision being
Especially
Pot of
going...
Greed is ridiculous.
That would have
Yeah,
been a
like,
slight
Vision
striker hit.
going into
Is the
strikers,
chant
so, like,
the one that like searches? Like
it
level
searches,
Yeah, it's the one
it
that
searches
searches.
MST or a monster.
Yeah,
Such
I
as
don't know.
MST or monsters, the chant.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering
Yeah, why are
not
we
the
not
Vision?
hitting visions? The graceful
Konami
the
said
in-engine
so.
graceful charity.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Konami said so, but even though Red Typhoon is not going to be that big of a deal in the next format, so who cares?
I guess
Yeah.
yeah, for real, bro.
Yeah.
Then in a later format, we're gonna have to deal with it again at some point.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
also the fact that Vision
this
is
feels
at
like
3,
one of
we can
those
play that.
lists that like feels good right now ish, but like in like a month, 2 months, 3 months, it's gonna be like, hey, why is Different Dimension Ground still legal? Why is Christia still in the game? Why, you know?
To be fair,
I mean,
no one's
Christia
Christia locking besides me and Alan Conchalo, so it's probably gonna be fine on that regard, unless people figure out that Christia's FTK into fucking Cool Tune and also VSK9 if you let them play past their normal.
Yeah, now
Don't
we'll have
tell 'em
now we'll
now.
have
Don't
to
tell
play.
'em.
Yeah, now we'll have to play the Christia lock instead of the Diabel's lock because Kill Tune is going to be everywhere. So
yeah, without MST too. I mean, maybe I'll still side Diabels because of Striker, but like, it really just depends. Like, I do think that this ban list sets up Striker to be a top 5, top 10 deck. So, I do foresee, like, especially with them being able to use Crown, Droplet, like, thrust into DDG post side against Dex. It's just that deck's looking really nice. I saw a lot of people in the chat talking about how Striker is going to be very good, and I tend to agree.
yeah,
And
one of my
especially
teammates is actually playing Sky Striker, so he's eating good right now.
Especially considering we do get sorry, the name escapes me, but the dude that actively searches the forbidden spells, like, that's just gonna make their life so much easier than it needs to be.
God, we love Golgolot in the chat. Top
Yeah.
3 decks: Malice, Malice. Says John Flores.
No, and no.
Absolutely not. As a Cyberse enjoyer, I want that deck gone. I'm sorry, but I need it gone. It's just annoying to play against more than anything else.
It's gonna win another 2 YCSs before we get anything else banned in that deck.
Just need to hope you're on the Lancias at the time.
Yeah, right.
Max, how bad is Malice as a deck if it weren't for the fact that Shifter and D-Fissure and all these other Floodgate cards are still legal?
Now I'll have to break.
yeah.
Now I'll have to break a lance in favor of Malice because Malice in itself is not the problem. The problem is the crazy amount of non-engine that you play in there.
That is true.
Also, we have Andre Torres in the chat. I guess you summoned him, Magic Geek. Branded best deck. Let's go. I can't wait to see what Andres is cooking up for the next format, dude. Andres, what do you think you're I mean, that's the thing I was talking about. I'm like, some people like Andres are already only running one branded fusion. Like Andres looked at the ban list and he just chuckled.
Andre was already waiting on the Brand of Fusion ban. He didn't care about it being at 1.
No, we don't
He's in
understand.
the kitchen
Andre's probably
cooking.
secretly was at Konami seeing the ban list being made. He's like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
He got the inside scoop.
Yeah,
Looking-
exactly, bro.
Looking forward to seeing
Exactly. They
what
better-
oh sorry.
They better call the firefighters because that kitchen is getting on is on fire right now.
Yeah, that man is cooking. We know it, bro. We know it.
RB is still
Right.
full power. That's a crazy statement. I mean, yeah, RB player is eating, I guess, with this ban list.
RB cool too?
Can't wait to start
Anyway,
playing.
it was nice joining for a change, but obviously my kids are still awake, and obviously I have to keep muting because she's playing right behind us. So I'll catch you on the next stream.
Thank you for coming
Alright,
through,
man.
Yeah,
Phil.
I'm gonna have to head out too.
Alright,
I gotta
see you later.
take care of. Have a good one, yo.
Ta-ra, ta-ra.
Peace out, Magic Key. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing what like people like Andres end up cooking up. I know we had Chance in the chat earlier. I know Nightfall's playing TCG again. I genuinely think that this season for Nats is already shaping up to be the best year to play branded ever. Because of how the deck is now positioned. Our worst matchup in Draco Tal is now gone. MST is arguably going to be rotated out of the meta. I think the chant was just kind of like a slight nudge in that direction. You know, Malice, I guess, gets slightly hit in the Rose Whip angle, which was really just the card that made that matchup post side really difficult, is gone. So I think that branded is just super well positioned, and good branded pilots like Andres and other people will be honestly just eating really well. Andres branded fusion at 1, 2, 3 is the same, but Tal, that's crazy. 4 out of my 5 wins I played Draco Tal, and the one I didn't use it, I wasn't released. Yeah. Okay. So I mean,
I will say for Draco Tail, I think there's potential to see the Magistus build get some experimentation, just to fill in more of those starters. And now that Arthalian's semi-limited, kind of gives you more of that extra deck space that the deck kind of needed before. So we could see some Magistus slop start to bubble up there.
Yeah, especially with
For
I
the
mean, I don't know.
Copers out there.
For the Copers. Oh boy. Yeah, Branded and Sky Striker are my main decks. If you're Branded and Sky Striker dual main, you are eating really well. Not Draco Tal, Fairy Tal. Oh, yeah, no, Andres used to play Fairy Tale back in the day. Andres, I have to ask you, do you think Fairy Tale Snow is going to be actually that, you know what, the more I think about it, I wasn't thinking about this before. Now that we have the synchro lines, Fairy Tale Snow might be just insane in the 40 card build anyways. So that's definitely going to be something to end up testing out. But yeah, like I was watching one of Andres's old lists. I remember like Andres literally topped a YCS without branded fusion. He was running all like the Despia cards too before it even came out. And like I know you've ran like Fairy Tale Snow in your decks before, so I'm gonna have to revisit some of the old topping branded lists with Fairy Tale Snow and see what's going on here. I do think it's going to be one of those cards that is going to be another tool that branded players are going to want in their like collection to be able to test out with, and with it being a level 4 really lines up super well into the synchro lines. Violet Fox, what's up? It's just typings. Fairy is super effective against dragons. I guess so if we're playing Pokemon. I have branded in Sky Striker as well and just bought the Fairy Tale core a week ago, including a Snow. Pretty happy, to be honest. Good for you. Chaos Angel Protection for Synchros. Yeah, I mean, Chaos Angel's still looking like a pretty damn good card into Cool Tune meta. Hot take, Elf Note is better than Cool Tune. I honestly, with this hit, with the overtake, I mean, I'm not saying that's true because of like Rose Whip, but I do think Elf Notes is looking absolutely insane. Like Regina, their new 5 mana is an absolutely broken card that gets even better with the last wave of support. So To be honest, branded, those not really need branded fusion anyways. I kind of disagree with people saying that we don't need branded fusion, but it is a card that obviously going first, you want to prioritize the synchro line. So I've liked it going first still, though, to be able to play through hand traps. Like, even with Ogre and Harmonia, it's still probably correct to go for the synchro line, but like, you might get Ash on Fall on the White Dragon or Impermanent, and then it's like, oh, what's your best follow-up? Branded fusion at that point, right? Or just having a cart in hand. So maybe you could just run a third cart instead of the second branded fusion, honestly. For very similar use cases. Lunalight still good this format. Lunalight, it, like we've kind of just like described the 10 decks that are going to be most relevant. I do think Lunalight is in there. Like that deck has received 0 hits. Like, it's not like the branded Lunalight deck was the one doing the most topping in the last few months.
Yeah, the minigame is still there. You summon double Liger Dancer plus SP plus Baguska. Good luck having outs.
I don't know if you're still here, Andres. I'm sure people would love to see a list from you post ban list, honestly. Why didn't they unban Verte? You're asking the real question, Z54. Will branded decks still be strong competitive? Branded will be arguably the second best deck, if not the best deck. Like, I like, it just won almost 4 nationals. If you are a wicked branded pilot, I think you can just like diff like the Cool Tune and Elf Note players, which will probably be the other 2 top. I think those are the 3 best decks, like, by far. Like, Elf Notes, branded, and Cool Tune. It's just gonna be like, I think branded has an amazing matchup into. I think it has a worse matchup into Elf Notes going second, because like the Elf Note board is so damn layered, whereas the Cool Tune board is like 2 monsters and a spell and a bunch of hand traps. So,
I mean, I look at the OCG list right now, and the hits that they have in branded over there is still like, it's the stuff that we're fine with over here. They have Droll at 1, they have Ash Blossom at 2, they have Branded Fusion at 1, they have Super Poly at 2, and branded is the second best deck up there in the OCG land. So I think we're fine. I think we're still slated to be the second best, and if not, we might be the best deck in the format still. Even though KT may have the most representation, it's always literally been, you have the best deck and you have the deck that beats the best deck, and that's what we are. We'll be fine.
Andre said grass branded Tal. Yeah, I won my YCS with Fairy Talon branded, and now with synchros off Sword and Golden. I love it. Oh my god, yeah, and like Omega too. Like, just imagine, book your opponent KT, use Cartesia to fuse with Fairy Talon, use it again to book. Oh my, okay. I wasn't, you know what? At first, I was like, nah, we won't run it in 40, but like, also, I think 60 card branded, especially with some of these decks being hit. I think because Cool Tune, I've heard from a lot of people, you can just use Engine to kind of outgas Cool Tune. So I think 60 card branded is looking better than it's ever looked, personally speaking. Especially with Fairy Tale Snow back in the game. So definitely looking forward to trying that out.
I think my concern with a 60 card branded list is like, if the meta turns out to be that there's like a strong sort of rogue contingent of like shifter and fissure abusers, a 60 card is obviously just way worse into that sort of environment.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm not a believer in the 60 card piles. Not because I don't like them, it's because I value consistency over the possibility of more non-engines. Because think about it for a second. If you're playing 60 cards and the opponent has a full board like so layered, then you have the 1 out in 3 copies. How consistently you're going to draw that one card in 60 cards, even if you have it on 3? Like, for example, Super Poly against Q-Tune. If you're playing 60 cards, how consistently are you going to get the Super Poly?
Not very. My nationals are pre-ban list this weekend. Oh, nice. Good luck in your nationals, Andres. Looking forward to the winning deck list. But might play Elf Note, Albaz, maybe with some Archfiend cards. My country is Malice Land and Fissure and Shifter Land. Oh, okay. So we might see some goo. I think that I heard Julian it was Kamal just did the same thing with like Elf Note, branded, so I do think that's definitely going to be a really good option for you. And good luck this weekend, man. I've been loving to see. It's so insane how consistent you have been, man. Like, you literally top every event you go to, so keep it up, man.
Good luck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brandon Despia, how you doing, dude? Excuse me, what did I just wake up to? Brandon Best Deck, that's what you just woke up to. It's just nice because Draco Tal, like, I know it's not sometimes not like that bad of a matchup for Branded, especially when Draco Tal draws weaker, but when they draw strong, it just felt impossible to win that, or when they're going like Flame Draw Ash and stuff like that. So or like looping the Ash with Altharion. So I'm personally really happy with the Draco Tal hits. I feel quite justified in my Draco Tal rants that people called me crazy for. But yeah, Fairy Tale Snow. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, my only like wish, like I don't mind the hits, other than that Rahu to 1 just like really hurts.
Yeah.
Like Rahu to 2 would have been fine, but Rahu to 1 makes the deck so fragile. If your shufflers don't get shuffling, you're really up shit's creek.
Yeah, no, bro, imagine Traptrix becomes the Rogue Thorn. Oh, that would be crazy. I won't lie. Hey, Traptrix, they still have their Fallen and Virtuous. Like, I remember, there's a lot of feedback coming from your mic, Angra. I don't know if you want to mute it, except for when you are talking. But Doomsy going to shock a lot of people because we play Shifter and Fissure, and Draco Tal literally shuts down Graveyard. Or no, Dracatus. Yeah, no, Doom Z is going to, I think, a top 5 deck, like, on some level. That deck is very scary to go against. It's also one of the decks in the meta that can actually, like, I'm gonna mute Angra just because there's a lot of yelling in the background. Yeah, I was talking to Kamal this morning about the deck. It's not crazy, but it's consistent. That's why I want during the weekend just to be able to play all my games. Yeah, especially if you're in that kind of environment with all the floodgates. You might as well not just put yourself in that kind of position where you can open yourself up to lose to those just silly cards. What would be the best deck if everything got unbanned? I mean, they've had non-banlist tournaments, and it is quite literally, like, usually a combination of Tearlaments, Malice, and like Ryzeal are usually like the 3 best decks, but it's usually consistently Tearlaments. But the thing is, people usually prepare for Tearlaments in that format, and then they're like maining 3 Shifter and shit. So like you see like Malice, like I think Malice won the last non-ban list tournament in Japan, but they have them like every month. So I check into those if you want to see more on that. Andres Torres and 60 card brand is super consistent going first, but going second, you can play a lot of breakers and thrust. That's what I'm saying. Like, thrust into KT is like, that's just free real estate, brother. Like that is just free real estate. So I'm really looking forward to trying out 60 card brand. I would have loved to see Grass go back to 2, but I think Grass going back to 2 with Snow on the same list would have been probably a war crime. Like I saw Sammy say like, oh, like everyone's gonna start running Fairy Tale Snow in their deck, and honestly, that might be an accurate take. That's what happened when it came back last time, right? From what I mean, I came back to the game right around that times. It just seemed like everyone ran Fairy Tale Snow in their deck. Didn't notice that you were live. Like, do you guys think in the chat here if Fairy Tale Snow is going to have an impact on the meta besides like the Fairy Tale deck and like maybe these like piles? Like, is this going to be a card that finds its way into every deck as like it is just a free body that's not once per turn, like and it's an interruption? Like, that is a very high quality card. 60 card brand is actually in a good position too here. We have enough stars to be consistent, to be honest, plus Thrust, Radiant, Typhoon, Vision, Fairy Tale Snow. That's the thing, we still have Vision too. Like, oh my god, Vision was such like a key piece for 60 card at this point. Yo, MGX updated 60 card branded video with a list soon. Yeah, we'll do that for tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow's video on Branded Games GX. Make sure you subscribe to my Branded Games GX channel. I will link it down below if you are not already. We do still upload here and stream here, but I highly recommend going to the Branded Games GX channel if you are trying to keep up on the daily uploads. So yeah, I need to a video went up on that channel too on accident today. Just because, well, it was supposed to be today's video, but then the ban list came out, so this is what we're doing instead. What?
All right, man.
Oh,
Have a good one. I have to step out to get ready for work, but have a good one, bro. Be safe.
Have a great day at work. Thanks for coming through, brother.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, guys, Brain Diffusion to 1 is bad. It's not bad. It's a completely manageable hit, like 100%, 120%. So, like, I don't think it actually affects Branded that much in general, because we were already going down the synchro line and everything. Yo, we got the Cool Tune Goat in the chat. How's it going, Brandon? How are you doing if you're here?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well, Branded, Cool Tune Best Deck. As someone who has won a regional with Cool Tune, what is your opinion on the ban list?
Draco Tail's dead. Thank God. I'm so sick of those cards. Why is Snow back? And Branded Fusion to 1. Oh no, Fallen of White.
Yeah, like, it's a non-hit on the Branded Fusion. I think that was more of a Draco Tal hit, but how about that Synchro Overtake? In Rose Whip, you feeling the pressure a little bit as a Cool Tune player, or not at all?
So you can if you have a tuner on field or in graveyard, you can add 1 synchro card or synchro spell and trap to your hand. Duelist Genesis. I don't know. I knew Overtake was going to be gone. I know, and I mean, anybody could have guessed Rose Whip was going to get hit. Like, that card's degenerate. I don't know. It's like, so in my opinion, it's the same thing as like Branded players. Like, it's no slander, but like, if you're playing Branded and you were able to Christia lock your opponent, you were able to do everything else and play the game. Like, I feel like you just win more if you don't lock people.
That is, yeah. I haven't, in my testing recently on DB the last 2 weeks, I've seen like no Rose Whip. Like, to me, it was kind of just like not a hit that affects like how good the deck will be on some level. But the Overtake was interesting because were you, like, I remember you were on Duelist Genesis and people in the chat were mentioning it. I was like, were you running that over Overtake or were you running it alongside Overtake? Like, do you think Genesis has like the potential just to completely replace that card entirely?
So I was on 2 Genesis and 3 Overtake, but now it's like you could just play 2 to 3 Genesis and 1 Overtake, because it essentially does the same thing. The only thing you're doing is like you lose to Droll, but it's like, okay, I lost to Droll no matter what if that was my first play. It's the same thing with like Rico. Like, if you start with Rico and you add Rotary, you lose the Droll. It's like, all right, it's gonna happen.
So can I ask if there's like a hit that you could have seen Konami do? Obviously, they're not going to hit the Cool Tune cards themselves right out the gate, but is there like any other hits that you think Konami could have thrown at it to maybe be a little more effective, or are you happy with? You think it's fine? They went with what they had.
I mean, the only other like they could Overtake to 1 or banned is like the correct one to preemptively hit it. Rose Whip banned is I think 100% correct, because like degenerate like lockouts, like in the OCG right now they're maining Rose Whip, and that's just because like if you win die roll and you go first and you look at your opponent's hand and their top deck and they're like, oh wow, they have spells that they need to resolve.
They just
if
win.
I just ash their first if I ash their first spell and then they're like, oh no, I lose. Like, it's never a good feeling whenever you don't it's never a good feeling when you lose, not because your opponent like you couldn't break the board because your opponent played it well, but your opponent looked at your hand, manipulated the top deck, and then said, hey, Rose Whip solves all my problems. I can turn off my brain. It just never feels good to like. It never feels good to win like that. And it never feels good to lose to a floodgate.
Yeah, I'm glad that went. I was surprised it went actually this early, but you know, because sometimes they don't preemptively hit stuff. But that's like that just shows me Konami TCG knows what they're doing. Brandon, I have to ask you, since you just came in here, were there any hits that you thought were missing on the list? Because I feel like I've been seeing some pros say that they don't like this list, but I feel like these were literally just people who played Draco Tal themselves. Most of the people I've seen complain about this ban list. So, I mean, of course, like they could have hit D-Fissure and DDG, and like Droll and Ash, maybe like especially Droll not going to 1, I felt like was a little weird, but because it already happened in the OCG. But on some level, do you think there was anything that they were missing on this ban list? Like, I know some people wanted Fallen the Virtuous going to 1, and no Fallen the Virtuous hits.
So from what I saw, I didn't really like. Well, let's discuss the elephant in the room. Why in God's name is Cups a yummy way to 1?
It was always the second one that got you, dude.
Yeah, you guys remember whenever Shooting Riser got put to 1? That's what got us. Like,
SP Little Knight to 1 in the OCG.
Yeah, Cups yummy way to 1. You know what? Like, thank you, Konami. You were listening to us the entire time. What else? The Draco Tail hits I'm fine with. I know this is gonna be like, as a branded player, I feel like for like healthiness of like if you want Fallen and Virtuous to stay around, I think Albion, the branded dragon, needs to go to 1. Only because like it's a good card. That's the only thing I can say. It is a very good card. Like, it feels really nuts whenever my opponent can F and V for a pop and then set it, and then F and V for a Titaniclad, which if I don't get rid of the Titaniclad, there's an OG Albaz in my end phase taking away like everything. It just feels like I don't know, like in a vacuum, it's like F and V Albion, F and V Titaniclad, Titaniclad summon OG for Mirror Jade send another Albion, set F and V. Like the cycle never ends.
Yeah,
I
like
think the problem with Fav is that it's just so cyclical and splashable.
Yeah, well, they're not gonna hit it because it's too new. That's why I was saying I think you put Albion the Branded Dragon to 1 because like that card's too generically broken.
I wouldn't have minded that as a branded player. Like, obviously, it would make you, it would hurt your grind game a little bit, but like grind game is always something you can play around. You can like run Retribution and prioritize that as a set to spin back your Albion, right? But it's like
you also have Dogma. You have Dogma to spin it back too.
Yeah, like I wouldn't mind that. I just think like people like treated Fallen and the Virtuous as a card that was bannable, which was always kind of silly to me. Like, I don't know, like Konami doesn't hit breakers. Like, breakers are generally considered more healthy, I guess, for the game than like hand traps, I feel like, on some level. Maybe that's a hot take, but yo, what's up, Zayo? So many pointless hits. There were a lot of interesting hits on this list. I'm overall happy, but like stuff like Metamorphosis and like Gimmick Puppet, like why are they even on this list? On some level, I would have preferred to see other cards like DDG and Fissure, but were there any unlimits you guys would have wanted to see? I can't even think of any unlimits that I would have liked to see, frankly. But
free my boy Ronan Totem.
Free my boy. Free my boy.
Free my boy Ronan Totem. He did nothing wrong.
Kids Meow Moo still banned. Shake my head.
This that one can never come back. I just, if Meow Mew comes back, I hope you know Prank Kids is full yummy combo.
Is that good though?
I don't know, dude. Cups the yummy ways the one, so you watch yourself.
No, that thing better stay in jail. I do not want to deal with the consequences of that thing coming back. I don't know what that could bring to the table, but I do not even want to find out.
Yeah, that's like a Pandora's box Angra is not willing to open.
Yeah.
Now, branded Synchro is better than the Fusion version. I think the Fusion version is still arguably better, but you know, I was just talking with my man Colin, like one of the best players I know locally, and he was like, I need a branded Synchro list with Spark and Harmonia. That got me thinking. I'm like, branded with Spark and Harmonia sounds pretty damn good. So, yeah, I do think branded Synchro is looking kind of nice with this, but also like, you know, the Synchro build kind of suffers from Ogre and Harmonia being all over the meta. So since synchros lose to removal, fun fact.
That's also another thing. Whenever people talk about branded synchro, like I get that like they're like, oh, they're optimizing to play more synchros and all that. It's still a fusion deck. Like OG, I don't know. OG Albaz is still in your deck as an interruption. Like that card is. I remember everybody used to say it's a brick. Now everybody's praising it. How times have changed.
Yes.
Yeah, soon. I do remember there was a couple week period right after Burst Protocol dropped and we got white Albaz. Everyone was like, "Oh, three Albaz. No more of the bricks. You don't need it." And 2 weeks later, everyone's like, "Did you know that OG Albaz is actually a good interruption?" It's like, yes, I did.
Yeah,
but
it was funny seeing people not run
if you
that.
look in Yapping Grounds, this was my reaction whenever people told me that. I'm like, no.
Oh, really? Albus is a good card. Oh, I had no idea, buddy.
Guys,
have you read
get
Dogma
this.
Dragon's fusion materials? That's kind of pretty. That's pretty crazy, man. That's 3 materials. Wait.
Yeah, Dogma makes it
Exactly.
so Albaz, you don't need to make Mirror Jade every single time or like Chaos Star Source. It just makes your Albaz like always a good card as an interruption. It's like that's a card that low-key is just like such a backbone component to what makes Branded so good at the moment. Branded Despia, my problem with Fallen the Virtuous being at 1 was the only deck that searches it for engine. Well, that's the thing, like we can search it, but I also like, as anyone who's played Branded this format, you go through at least 2 Fallen the Virtuouses like each game. You at least do. Sometimes 3, so it's definitely
Also, shout out to Sprin the Iron Dash Dragon, starting to see play now. I'm so glad that card's like on. If you read the effect, that card's nuts.
it's good
Like,
into
it's such
KT.
a good board breaker.
Yeah.
I really like that card. It's a better route to Retaliating Sea instead of the Chaos Star Source Dragon because you go Branded Fusion into Mercurian and Albas, you summon Lubellion, you search with the Mercurian, the Albion Shrouded, then you go into Sprint using the Lubellion and the Albas. You go Sprint effect to pop the Retaliating, then you go Albion effect to send sword, then you grab back the Retribution, the Mercurian, instant monster negate, and then you continue.
Yeah.
That is why people should not be cutting the Spriggan's kit, the OG kit. Cards.
OG kit's
underrated.
nuts.
I always loved OG Kit. Loved OG Kit. That's a really good point.
I actually love the new one better, honestly.
New one's great too.
The new one makes End-Phase Quem feel insane.
True.
Exactly.
Or just like summon off of Ecclesia and turn 3 revive your Mirror Jade. Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, like if you have OG Engrave, you go End-Phase Quem for new kit, summon OG, summon Mirror Jade, Quem effect, summon back Cartesia.
Brain
So
Fusion
good.
to 1.
That
does
feels
nothing.
illegal.
Yeah.
I always looked at Fallen the
I don't
Virtuous. Oh, sorry. What's up?
No, you know what I think was like the biggest winner of this ban list?
What?
Shifter.
Doomsy. I think that deck is now probably the 3rd best deck in the format.
Yeah, that deck is looking really damn good
Dude,
right now.
I won't lie to you. If testing feels good, I might have to mess around with the Anthony Zhu list where he was playing War Crimes. He was playing Shifter, Retail C, oh god, I want to banish people's stuff.
See, this is my worry with this ban list, right? We're all like, I mean, not me, but you guys are more than welcome to dance on Draco Tail's grave. But like, what we're not paying attention to is as much as maybe we should, and I think, like I said earlier, people will see this ban list in a little bit of a different light in a couple of months when the Doomsy or Mitsurugi or Malice, all these Shifter and like D-Fissure siding, like, cancer decks that are just, trying to non-engine you to death, floodgate you to death, like, and Branded might start seeing more use of Christia as well. Like, the format could get kind of gross. with a lot of the floodgates that got left off this ban list.
No floodgates getting banned besides Rose Whip was a little crazy, I won't lie. Always loved Sprind the Iron Dash Dragon Gang. What's up, Peeps Gaming? Mr. I had Sprind in my top 16 YCS. Why can I not even think of the fucking city now? Richmond list. Time to cook for Columbus. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will be messaging you shortly. Grizel's Prison for a staple side deck card. I mean, it's kind of like what, like, I think you're winning going first against KT probably no matter what anyways as a branded player, so you probably don't need it, but maybe other decks that don't put up as good of a board. Metamorphosis into Mitsu to summon Thunder Dragon Colossus. Can it work? I mean, can't you also do that with Dragoon though too? I mean, I don't know if that's that good.
See, this is the thing with Metamorphosis is like, why? Like, it might not be the most like problematic card in terms of like, you know, being a obnoxious combo starter or slop card, but like the only thing that this card's gonna do if it sees play is summon floodgates and omni negates. So like, why are we unbanning it? I don't get it.
Oh yeah, no Dragoon slop hits. Like some people want like Wanted or Diabell Star to go to 1. They said nope. We're having 1,000 years of Dragoon.
Yeah, I did see that.
So Brandon, what do you think are the top 5 decks right now then?
Dylon, because he spits hot fire.
Well, number 1, Cool Toon Bust deck. Branded, Doomsday, Elf Note. I think the Elf Note Albaz variant's probably the best variant of that deck.
For sure.
Pure Power, and then Pure Power Patron is, I think, a super sleeper deck.
Oh, really? That's something people should prepare for Columbus, I guess, then.
Yeah. And then Mitsu. Yeah, because Pure Power Patron's non-engine is Spark, Impulse, Songs. Like, that's insane.
They don't run Harmonia? I guess they can't. Like what does that deck do? Like, what is the end board for Pure Power Patron?
So Pure Power Patron ends on the that Archmage non-finito card that like sets the counter trap that you can activate on your turn. It does that. It can set up Verudrus, and then it also plays a small Archmage package. So it's like basically Archmage with Verudrus and a counter trap. But it like can, if you don't have Fua or Droll, it cannot be stopped. Like there's some hands that just go on and on and on.
That is something. Thank you for that knowledge. I was not going to test against that at all for Columbus, but here we go. Bro, Doomsday goes Metamorphosis into Exterio. Please stop.
Yeah, Yubel can do that now.
Someone did mention.
But think about it for a second. Metamorphosis being at 1. Is that really that big of a threat? You still have to see it, and there is no realistic search about it.
Is Called By being at 1 still annoying?
For
yeah,
sure.
but like Called By
hits a lot more things.
Call By is not Metamorphosis though. Call By is like a god card.
It can be used as an interruption. That's the thing. Like you can't just like set Metamorphosis and use it on your opponent's turn.
Well,
So-
true,
Exactly.
but like I'm making a point in the sense that like just because a card can't be easily accessed and you have to hard open it as a 1-of doesn't mean it's not still problematic.
I think the issue is
Yeah,
like,
also,
would you justify the slots for the extra deck for a 1-of? Unless you already ran them. If you already ran them, then sure. What were you gonna say, Angra, before I cut you off?
No, don't worry.
Is it possible
I'm
to play?
surprised.
Is it possible to play 5 synchros and branded without or to play Harmonia? Yeah, you just have to be careful about it. What were you gonna say, Brandon?
Yeah. Now that I think about it, the synchro build is probably a little bit better because on your opponent's turn, you can Harmonia them and send Lulu Wallowlift, and then on end phase, you just special out Ecclesia for free.
Yep.
Or Cartagia.
or Clem.
Yeah, that's it.
And then
Or
you just keep them
Cactusians, or
along in
Cactusians.
your extra deck too, so you can reveal 4 or whatever, so you don't have to like run like 7 synchros. I mean you can, but it just takes away from your grind game so hard when you aren't running like double Guignol or like double Dogma and stuff like that. Can't you FTK with Power Patron?
Yeah, you
Probably.
can.
Is it consistent though?
I have
I
been
have no
FTK'd
idea.
by freaking Galaxy Eyes with Catapult Turtle sending the number 100 to the graveyard that had like 10,000 attacks. So no, actually 20,000 attacks. So anything can FTK as far as I'm concerned.
I've lost to that combo more times than I can count on Master Duel. People love that combo on Master Duel.
I got hit by that on real life.
Oh no, even worse. Does this bring back branded red or white into the deck with branded fusion to 1? I've seen that a few times.
Possibly.
Yeah, like I think it's a possibly. I think they're different cards though. Like wouldn't you rather put like a starter / card that's decent going second over the branded fusion? Like I was thinking Nadir offhand, and that's why I think a lot of us came to the conclusion of. However, I think red was already creeping its way back into branded decks because people started cutting at the end of last format, but you know, Mirror Jade, go fucking burr.
Yeah, branded in red is super underrated. It's also if you're playing the OG kit and you're playing branded in red, you don't need to play Golden Sword Soul to make your white Albaz a 1-card combo. You can just use the kit off of the Ecclesia, add branded in red, and then either make Rinbrum or Lubellion into Mirror Jade.
That is true. That's how like people were originally figuring out Walbaz combos when it first got announced. Should we continue to run Chaos Star Source now that Dracotal is theoretically gone? That's actually a good question. I personally wouldn't cut it because like sometimes it's just nice to like end phase pop 2 set when your opponent in like a grind game, but that's also very niche case. So and like Doom Z, I think you need it to interact into their equip cards. So I wouldn't be fast to cut the Chaos Star Source. Yeah, I do think, you know, the Doom Z angle is something that's going to be you have to take into account if the deck's going to be real. Just got third at Philly, you know, with the Anthony Zulis, like Brandon was saying.
Yeah, that deck's pretty sick.
Sky Striker's also looking to be pretty good too. You guys think that Sky Striker's a real deck this format?
Yeah, I think it's in that like 4th or 5th slot that can kind of, you can shuffle it between all these like different decks sort of on the edge. Like I agree with what Brandon said earlier of like that sort of like top 3 or 4 is pretty solidified in terms of like the Cool Tune, Branded, Elf Note, and then you kind of have like a few others. The Doom Z could be in there, Malice, Mitsu, Sky Striker. I think it's sort of in that bracket.
It's going to be a diverse meta, I think, on some. I mean, we'll see, because like all these events were like pretty diverse in the last for the first week of Blazing Dominion. I think on some level that will continue, because the only deck that really gets like nuked off the face of the earth with this list is Dracotal, and like Zay said, like we'll probably still see like, you know, a tier 3 variant with like Magistus that, you know, can top a regional here and there, so we'll see what happens in that scenario.
It can top a YCS, but not win a regional for sure. Top maybe a YCS.
Oh, Mario, my goat, how you doing? Happy branded best deck day, or I mean ban list day. What are your opinions on the ban list, my brother?
I think you probably play no Harmonia branded. Killer Tune will be the best deck. Power Patron is a nice deck right now. The pure build could be okay-ish. The deck seems nice. I tested it a bit the last 2 days. Fairy Tail also now is not that fake anymore. Fairy Tail seems pretty good into like the Elf Note matchup, because like Snow booked the middle zone into Elf Note is kind of busted low-key. like really low key. And against Kill Tune, like if you book the card, they can't synchro from hand, so that also like low key is pretty good. Like Snow, book a Kill Tune or book a Elf Note is like not too bad. Maybe you play that even in Branded now. You could
Andres
do that.
Torres was saying that in our chat before. He said it sounds insane right now.
Yeah, like if you like send Snow, like maybe not main, but probably in the side, because like if there's special Lucina and you book the Lucina with Snow, that's Loki and FTK, except they can dodge with Regina, and you can just murk the Regina if you want to.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, what do you think? You know, like, do you think they were missing anything off the ban list? Were you surprised at only branded fusion to 1? No fab hits.
I missed that there is no Mitsurugi hit, like 0. I think like I'm fine with not hitting Mitsurugi because it's good for the budget players, but at least ban Dimension Fisher. Like at least ban Dimension Fisher if you don't want to hit the deck.
And Shifter. Ban Shifter. I gotta take
I'm
a
like-
moment to just put that out there.
I'm like, they always banned like 4 cards at the ban list, this time only 3, which is a little bit weird. Like, just put the Diver in there as like 4th card or like a called by. If you like only want to ban 3 cards, like we banned always 4 cards, like Sin Snake format, just ban a 4th and like put a Floodgate in that's at 3. Like Diver preferably because it's at 3. And otherwise, like, yeah, just Shifter or a called by would have fit at
Well,
that space.
I guess the pure Power Patron deck can play Metamorphosis because every single new Power Patron's a level 10.
You can do that. If you want to, maybe.
Yeah, but like I said, it's niche.
I think the Power
Yeah.
Patron doesn't need it because like it's a control deck. You run like you can run songs if you want to. I run right now Super Poly over songs because like if the songs get ashed, it's the worst hand trap in the game. If it goes through, it's the best hand trap in the game. If you have a trap in the grave. So like it's like a double-edged sword. But like you run like 3, you run Droll for sure. You gotta run Droll and Mistaken Arrest in the side deck next format for sure. Because like Mitsurugi seems like really strong with 0 hits and with 3 Diver and the Shifter. So you need to main deck Droll 100% and like side Mistaken Arrest if you have the space, I would assume. And then you run like 2 Droll in the deck, you run Spark in the deck, you run Impulse in the deck, you run 3 Ash, 3 Fuva, and you run 3 Super Poly. And that's like, what do you want more in the deck as non-engine?
Doomsy with
Yeah,
Super Poly is so
I was saying
scary.
a similar thing earlier. That the Mitsu is like got the best non-engine options of arguably any deck in the game.
Yeah, and like the only thing that holds it back is like the 2 Drolls and the Mistaken Arrest in the side deck. That's the only thing you can do against it. That's like consistently to stop it. And like Spark, if against the Atsamina build, you can like Spark Murakumo, banish the Murakumo. That seems not too shabby. If you
Yeah,
do that.
Spark is pretty nice right now, honestly, all things considered.
Yeah, you might even play them branded because like your whole deck is light and dark. You might do that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like a
surprised
good
there's not
breaker.
more people on Spark and branded. I feel like I'm the only one, and it's weird.
Yeah, you might do it because like even if you can banish the level 1 Patron in Elf Note, that's kind of nice. Now you can do some things. Like I would assume. Yummy is like unplayable. Holy shit! Like
Wait,
the killer-
really? You're the first person to say that on the stream. Do you think Yummy's unplayable?
Bro, the Killer Tune matchup, if they ripped away or the Snatchy, you saw out.
Okay, fair enough. We yeah, like into Quilton, it's unplayable for sure.
Yeah, the matchup is like not playable.
I mean, it already was unplayable whenever they had 3 Snatchy, or not 3
Yeah, but-
Snatchy, 3
yeah.
Cupsy.
But now it's like even more unplayable, the matchup, and like I don't think a deck is good if it like pairs bad into the best deck.
Yeah.
I played against somebody this weekend and played into their they were playing the pile deck, and all I said is like, okay, your Yummy cards can resolve, and then he summoned Snatchy and Cupsy and Drew, and I was like, anything on res? He's like, activate Snatchy. I'm like, chain Coltoon Synchro. He's like, no response. I'm like, okay, you lose.
Bro, like even if you spark the Snatchy, that's so detrimental.
Yeah.
Would it have been better for Yummy in the context of like the Cool Tune format that we're headed into, would it have been better if they had like say banned Yummy Way entirely and then put Snatchy to 2, like the Link 1 to 2?
No, there literally there's two the two synchro cards in Cool Tune's extra deck literally say Yummy does not play the game. Back to back and RS are actually like the bane of that deck. Like if you gave Yummy 3 Snatchy, 3 Cupsy, 3 Marshmallow against full power Cool Tune, it's no shot.
Yeah, I'm this has been an interesting ban list because I do think like Yummy definitely like I guess gets somewhat rotated out as well. Draco Tal does. I mean VS K9, we were talking about this before, Mario, but that seems like that deck is gonna be pretty intact still. I don't think the Noroi ban actually does. Like, were you surprised Ripper? Like, were you guys surprised Ripper didn't get banned?
I mean, they just wanted to hit all the Justice Hunters decks to the point where it's like they can't be played by themselves if they want to be competitive. So I'm fine.
Yeah,
with
because
it.
K9 definitely did with Nori going.
I think like Vector Soul is like fine. You just like play no free X-Rev. Like free X-Rev is fine in the deck. We did that before.
Yeah,
Synchro Soul is coming. Synchro Soul is coming.
Like
I do think the Noroi hit is interesting because it says something about Konami's ban philosophy, I think, that they chose to just jump to banning Noroi, specifically, given that that's the one that gets hand knowledge, and Cool Tune, obviously, a lot of access to hand knowledge, isn't going to get any of those cards hit, anytime soon, but for future ban lists, it's, this is a little bit of a precedent setter, I think.
I think like about Vanquish Soul, like you play for sure like 3 Zuna 1 Lupus. You maybe play the Chocolat, I don't know, I don't really see it too much. Like you play like the old build basically you played before, you release with 3 extra and put in 3 Zuna 1 Lupus and the deck is fine, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like you're bridging into, I guess, K9 necessarily through VS, so maybe there is a chance for people to just like cut that. I mean, we saw Harmonia go into VS K9 decks in the OCG, kind of like Sonic alluded to, so I think that deck will go through a little bit of an evolution, but probably came out the best of all these. And Mario, are you how about the white the white rabbit to 1 that Malice players are really sweating over here, right? Or do you think it's gonna win another 3 YCSs before it gets a ban?
That deck will win a YCS. Deck will win a YCS. Because like, okay, everybody will play a Droll in the main deck for sure, and people will side mistaken arrest. And in something like that, like Malice doesn't care about like these slots people will invest into Mitsurugi, because Mitsurugi didn't get a hit. Like you need to prepare for Mitsurugi this format.
Because, yeah, like, when I was testing, Mitsu seemed like one of just the best decks of the format for sure. Like their non-engine is just like way too insane right now, like you guys were saying before. So the mistaken arrest angle is really important, I think, for people to load up on them, the side deck right now.
Yeah, and especially like Malice can dig into those cards, right? They have the chassis draw too, stuff like that, so they dig into those cards with their Alu and the so and they don't care about these cards, right? Like okay, Droll is fine into the deck. Like at this point, like you can Droll Malice, it's not too bad anymore. But you still want to see other cards though. But if you can.
Yeah, Striker will be there. Like, yeah, no, I think Mistaken and Droll, I think that's like one of the biggest calls that you guys can make right now. Is there any other non-engine you guys think will be pretty good? Like, do you think Nib will be rotated out of the meta again? I guess if it was ever in the meta this last format.
I think the best hand traps will be Harmonia. It will be Spark. It still will be Impulse. It will be Ash. Ash is always the best hand trap in the game, as long as like doesn't get hit, because it stops the Fuba. The Fuba is good. And the Imperm is good because it boosts the Spark and the Impulse. So, and the Troll, of course, is like probably like you always needed the Troll.
I think Meowls is going to be a lot more common in side decks. Maybe not right away, but I think, I've said this a couple times. I think that the format's going to start shifting toward having a bit more representation of like the shifter adjacent decks, like Malice, Mitsu, Doomsy, those kinds of VS, and those decks. Some of them, like Mitsu, have a hard time into a card like Meowls. So I think we could see that.
I think you don't have the space for Meows right now because of like all the other. You have like because of like how the non-engine got boosted with this set. Like it gets like surpassed from Harmonia and Spark, and you don't have like not infinite non-engine spaces in like in not too many decks. Like Killtoon can run a lot of hand trips, but like Mitsurugi, in my opinion, like still wants to run maybe Vision in this format because Vision plays better into Draw if you make Draw Face Vision. And if you play that, you need to play like Droplet and Fallnet to Virtuous, and then you play in the deck also less hand traps. Because I think you need, the Vision if everybody's on double draw in the main deck, maybe, so you can play a bit better around the draw. It's hard to say because like decks don't have like infinite space, and like I already said, like 7 hand traps that are like you always play if your deck can play them, and then like I don't know if you have a space for 8 over like other cards you want that are better into those decks you can side, because your side deck you also put in the floodgates like dive fight, still a judgment, stuff like that, and the space gets pretty tight like after time and time.
I love the German accent, says ST in the chat. Someone's a Mario fan in the chat. We're all Mario fans in the chat.
That's an Austrian or the accent. Austria best country. It's a small neighbor. It's a small neighbor country.
You should never need more than one Mirror Jade at this point. Dogmas are no fuse off with opponent's target. Yeah, I mean I agree with that, Kendall. Also, how's it going, Kendall? Yes, I guess someone asked if you should run 2 Mirror Jade or not. Like, yeah, I mean, the extra deck rip the cool tune actually doesn't matter against Brandon.
That's so annoying though, bro. Yeah, now you get Albaz into taking 2 of my cards and get Dogma. I'm just like, bruh. I'm like, cool. You can't do anything. I'm like, oh, forgot you have Dogma. So you don't need the fucking whatever, and you just take 2 of my cards. I'm like, all right, bro. And then there's Dogma.
But we might side the Snow Branded. The card seems very interesting.
I want to try out 60 card Branded, honestly, Mario. Like, it seems kind of gassy into Cool Tune. Obviously, like Angro was saying this before, like you're just gonna probably brick a bit more, but it seems like a decent option.
It's like I looked like what the OCG like often do, like now with the Puppet Pop ban. And like the Chinese people like still are on the 60 build with 1 Brafu, because like then you max out on all Brafu Searcher and you can still play these strong Brafu cards like Branded and Sword, because in 40 you don't play Sword, I think, with 1 Brafu. Like the card is like good to make the 1 card Brafu better, but do you do that when you have less Brafus now?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Damn it, my video just got invalidated. I made a video yesterday saying that card's really good because because of the Cool Tune Cube, like banishing Albaz from top of deck. But I think you make a good point where it was really there for the Branded Fusion anyways. So
yeah. Like you play to make the Branded Fusion go first stronger, but do you focus on Branded Fusion if you in a 40 build? Do you focus on Branded Fusion now over Harmonia when you play only 1 Branded Fusion in your deck anyway? That's like rough. I think like a Nadir Harmonia build is better. With like maybe even 0 Despia cards. Maybe like you can play still 1 opening, 1 Aluba, of course. Would do that, but I think you don't play more.
The problem with Harmonia in like the synchro builds is, I mean, obviously you're going for more of the synchro lines, but especially going second, like even the synchro branded build, a lot of times you just need to be able to like do stuff with your fusions, and Harmonia locking you out of that going second, it can be really difficult to navigate.
What's up, Wheels? We're just talking about the new ban list that dropped. Did you end up seeing it?
I got a quick look at it on my walk home. I thought it was quite funny.
Fairy
It
Tale
was
Snow
not at
is
all what I was
alive.
expecting.
Fairy Tale Snow's alive, dude.
I think
Yeah, no, like that's like surprising. Premature Burial being back and Metamorphosis as well is crazy.
I think this is like the worst ban list we had like in a year.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, this is. Here's the thing about this ban list. It does some things okay, like Rahu going to 1 is fine. Typhoon Chant going to 1 is fine. I don't really understand why it got hit over other things, but it's fine. Rose Whip going in general, they've been hitting some of these like minor-esque floodgates over the years, just in general. So that one going, that's fine. No worry. No clue why that one went. I'm gonna be honest, but sure.
I want to say one thing, like why I think this ban list is like for a standpoint like instantly worse is cause like you have 2 real bans and before we always had like 4 real bans by a ban list. And it's like a huge like
most good
downstep.
ban lists have at least like 3, if not 4 cards that were like, oh yeah, that needed to go, kind of really
Yeah, and-
restricted.
And here we
this
have
ban
like
list doesn't feel like it does that very well.
we have like
You know what I
one
mean?
card. We have one card that we wanted to see banned, Rose Whip. Like nobody expected a Noroi ban, and nobody expected a fucking Gimmick Puppet ban. So like a lot of
I literally
bans
saw
are-
the Gimmick Puppet ban and I was like, my heart and my soul, I've been playing Gimmick Puppet on and off for years, literally since its first wave of support. Like, why are they doing this to me? That was the only thing that it offended me, honestly.
Like you could, like if you look at the ban section, like in every other ban list we had like 4 bans and at least 3 of the bans were good, and now you have like 2 good bans and nothing more. So like
So what are we saying are the good bands? At Rose Whip probably, right? Noroi probably.
yeah, and like the rest, like who cares? Who cares about the rest?
I mean, everybody else seems to like the Rahu to 1. I'm not a fan. I think they could have gone about it differently, but
That's why I'm saying
fine
it's
with them killing
fine.
Draco
You know, like
Tail, just-
that's why I said it was a fine hit. Like it's okay. It does something, but it's not really like it's not a lot.
Watch the Dragotail Andes being in complete denial and start playing double traps, like double flame, double 2 of every trap just to keep the deck alive.
I hope that's what happens.
No, I said all that's gonna happen is Shaolist is gonna become mandatory, and you're gonna have to like fill in some of the starters with either Magistus cards or maybe like branded opening or something. The deck is gonna be obviously much worse, and I think a lot of people are gonna just abandon it for pure branded.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The only
I mean,
card
the
that
thing-
will probably still be kinda good is Fimana. Fimana is a crazy hand trap if played right.
I think like Shaonan you should have played before anyways, like in Dracotail just because of MST. And
Then it's
you have
actually
one
kind of
Kato.
disgusting, not gonna lie.
Oh, Shala is a good point, actually. Noroi was apparently needed in an FTK. I still think that was like more of a VSK 9 hit, so they could just like mark that down. I swear the
Like,
person.
I think like Ripper was then also used in the FTK, and then you can just argue ban Ripper.
I mean,
Low key.
Yeah.
If you a decision.
Reaper should have been hit.
FTK, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Draco Tail hit, like I think they very easily could have hit Fimina to 1 instead of Rahu, or even, I mean, I don't know, there's just a couple of different ways they could have done it. Going after Rahu specifically feels a lot harsher than what they did to the other. I mean, maybe not as harsh as banning Noroi. Maybe that one was the harshest, but.
Yeah, but the K9 engine deserves it a bit more. Honestly.
Agreed. IMO if
I
they
think
want. Oh, sorry.
Like K9 needed a ban to be like in check, like either Ripper or something like that. Like you need to ban a card. But Dracotail you can just limit cards and the deck is like kept in check. Like you could like, what do you do if you don't ban an K9 card? Like if you put everything to one, the cards will still see play, because Ripper still bridges into everything.
Yeah,
it's like the thing you needed to ban something from that.
I'm personally pretty happy with the list. I'm also a branded main, so like to me, it's if you're a branded main, you probably love this ban list. But
I guess that's more fair towards you. Like, you're seeing a lot of decks around you get hit, and the only thing that happened was Branded Fusion going to one, but aren't most lists playing one anyway?
Nah, you played two.
Some? Okay.
Some, like very few. Basically,
Okay.
like Andre Torres, who's like one of the best branded players, plays one, but that for the most part it's two. And it was really nice to play through hand traps and like go second with. So we will be missing that in that respect. Like you always go branded fusion going second, you always go synchro line going first. So it definitely like it conflicts with the synchro line, but you know, I think overall it's like kind of like the lightest hit they could have had for branded, considering the fact it almost just won 4 nationals in a row.
Okay, I will now go because I need to see the funny Truth Gaming Banlist reaction.
Okay, thank you, Mario. Thank you. That was Mario, Mr. Mario Traxler on Twitter, my goat. So
I'll say a few bands that like should have been on this list, and I don't really think it's all that debatable. Shifter, D Fissure,
Yup.
Yes.
Christia. I know
Yeah.
a lot of branded players love that card, but
I'm kind of sure
it should be on the list.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
really
I
should be.
guess.
And Different Dimension Ground.
Yeah.
Labyrinth is going to be mad, but too bad.
when's the last time Labyrinth did anything? When Kaihari got 8th place at a remote regional like 3 months ago? Like it's that deck needs a lot more help than their floodgates at this point.
Exactly.
Fun fact, ulti
Ban all
branded
the floodgates. That's why you get rid of all those floodgates so that you can actually print support for this deck without it being toxic.
What if we just ban all the traps?
Am I wrong?
No, I agree, Wheels. Like that's like we're kind of beating around the bush on some level. Like we were talking about before you joined, like Mitsu's gonna be one of the best decks, and they just get to shove like D-Fissure in their deck for no reason, wins free games off of that, and it's gonna be like really frustrating gameplay kind of thing to deal with post side. Fun fact, ulti branded fusion will be cheaper now. Yeah, fun fact, we all have multiple playsets of branded fusion now.
Yes, you do.
Watch Draco Tal run Brandon High Spirits to make Wallbaz more consistent. I would not doubt if Draco Tal ran Brandon High Spirits, honestly. That card's just broken.
As far as branded fusion goes, I have a very strange philosophy. It's either you play the max rarity possible, or you just bring the lowest rarity possible just to shove the total disrespect. It's either one or the other.
This was actually a good comment too. I wanted to mention, I swear the person who said Radiant Typhoon Chant go to 1 didn't play Radiant Typhoon at all. I tell you, and I kind of agree with that. And also, like, Radiant Typhoon was already kind of being rotated out of the format, so the chant almost felt kind of random, but I guess it's, you know, like
That's
it's
the thing they do, though. They hit decks that have been performing well, even if they're falling off a little bit. There's a chance that if they hit everything else, that deck just rises back up in popularity, and they might want to sell some other things coming up. So they're hitting it a little bit preemptively to limit its power so it's not as strong as it would be.
My problem is that they're hitting the wrong card.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like, I don't think it's the right card, but it's a fine one to hit. Like, what do you think, though?
Yeah, they should have just hit Visions to 1. Literally just switch that card with Visions and like be perfect. That's all. That's the only thing Radiant Typhoon needs. Visions just needs to go to 1. That's it.
I mean, yeah, well, it's the splashability.
But to your point,
of it,
I think it's a marketing thing. Like they don't exactly.
It's quite literally just a marketing thing. It's just for marketing. It's just to limit the consistency of you seeing these cards in general. Because the thing about Visions is that it is the draw spell, and it's the most splashable one when you play it as an engine. But while playing pure, you want consistency for the monsters. So hitting the one that's also the monster grab for the level 4s, which gets you access to everything else, it makes sense for consistency hits and for limiting the power level of the deck overall if you're trying to sell other things.
Yeah.
Especially if some of the things you're trying to sell are going to use quick play spells. Something like the Joey cards that got released, every single one of its new spells being quick play spells, they might not necessarily be looking at that, but that's something to look at. If a deck gets a whole bunch of quick play spells, they're gonna want to play something like Radiant Typhoon. So they're still gonna want to have that engine be available, but want to limit the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this gets at like a little bit of a core problem with the ban list in general with Konami, is a lot of decisions happen way too late that everybody sees who's got eyes.
Yep.
And it's just because Konami's got some sort of like marketing scheme that they're doing behind it.
It's half the reason I'm never like actually excited for a ban list. Like I'm always looking forward to the next one, but I'm never excited for them because I know that at the end of the day, most of the decisions on the ban list will just be a marketing thing or a hey, we'll just put this at 1 now because why not? Like half of it won't make sense, half of it will just be random stuff, and then there will be a few things that actually kind of matter. Unless it's the end of a format in their mind, in which case they do actually hit a lot of things. Like a ban list after Worlds or something, they'll actually nail some things, but besides that, you almost don't get anything out of a ban list from Konami.
Yeah. Well, and even the obvious problem cards that I just listed off a minute ago aren't getting addressed, which doesn't even make sense from the marketing standpoint. That I think lends itself more to like a difference between like powers that be with the OCG and the TCG, and then probably a deeper conversation. But
also, it probably would afflict some of their marketing if they killed off everything that people love playing immediately. Then some people might just stop playing if they don't want to play some of the stuff that's coming up. So they want to keep some of the players that are currently playing a little bit more entertained for a little while before they drop the new stuff and give people new toys.
It is like funny wheels because I brought this up before with like the Snake Eye ban list. When Snake Eye was getting rotated out of the format, they still just like banned OSS and like limited all the Snake Eye cards, as like Ryzeal and Malice literally like outperformed Snake Eye just like 2-1 essentially at all the tournaments during the weekend that OSS was legal, while the Ryzeal and Malice cards were there. Like this is obviously just like a rotation ban list, and it is like almost kind of like what we expect from Konami at this point, for better or for worse. Like it is unfortunate when you buy one of these like decks, like you basically have like a 9 to 12 month kind of shelf life, and you know, maybe you'll play like the dartboard on, oh, is your deck gonna still be playable? Like the people who bought Malice back in the day, but you know, they got a fucking great investment out of it because that deck's been meta all the time. But like a deck like Ryzeal has been like rotated out of the meta for like a year now, and like Draco Tal is something that is probably going to be near unplayable at this point. I mean, it's not going to be unplayable, but like compared to like what the better decks do, it's like there's no point in really playing that kind of deck, and it is kind of it's an unfortunate kind of scenario. Like I was talking to somebody about Pokemon with this, like the difference between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh is like Pokemon has forced rotation, whereas Yu-Gi-Oh kind of just like does the rotation through ban lists. But I feel like things like, you know, like there's positive and negatives to both approaches, and that.
The thing about doing a ban list or your rotation through ban lists only is that if you do this rotation so readily slow that the cards stay through multiple formats, you're not actually rotating anything in time. You're letting
it's
things
never in time.
ride. You're letting things just ride this wave, and they're still top tier decks. How long was tier limit playable? Even after it stopped being tier 0.
Basically
And I'm
until
not saying
Beatrice
that it
got
should-
banned.
And I'm not saying it
Too
should have
long.
died immediately after, but they limited and hit so many cards, and then the deck was still performing very well for a long time. It may not have been top tier contender, but it was still a better pick than a lot of things underneath it.
yeah.
Like,
And to kind of like chase down this like the sort of catalyst, I think, of this way of operating that Konami seems to like so much. It really, I think, comes back to the way the business model is structured for the game, and the way Konami, the difference between how the TCG sells product and how the OCG sells product, and how a lot of the meta stuff and strongest stuff that gets released is in these higher rarities, and that's how they push product. And so then they print these really strong cards and these really high rarities that they can't really touch now on the ban list if they become a problem, because people have invested X amount of dollars, and they don't want people actually buying the physical product and upholding the business model to just leave because their stuff keeps getting bottomed out too quickly. So they're trying to find this balance point between where they can hit these cards eventually after people have gotten what they feel is their money's worth out of these expensive rarities. And if we had a different business model, more like what the OCG had, it would be less of a problem, I think, because people could get these cards and the cores of these decks much cheaper in lower rarities, and then you could still have the high-end collector stuff for people who want to invest.
Also, Chaos Origins is going to be interesting, says Yahoo. Yeah, I do think Chaos Origins is going to be it's that like this ban list sets up Chaos Origins to really just shake up the meta with the new Yugi cards too. Like that's going to be like a top 3 deck probably, with no wall Vaz hits especially. And do you think Pure is better for French nationals? I do think Pure branded. I mean, I don't know what you mean by Pure branded. Do you mean Pure branded versus Synchro branded? I mean, I think it's like Mario is pretty bullish on the Synchro branded version. I'm still thinking the Fusion is quite good, like we saw in the OCG. I think it's mostly been Fusion branded that's been doing so well as the second best deck. So I don't think Fusion branded is going anywhere. I just think the Synchro branded list has not been perfected yet and has the potential to just be better based on the better non-engine that you get to run in that. Someone asked, what is OSS? That is Original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye. That was basically branded Fusion for Snake Eye that let the Snake Eye engine kind of dominate when it was a thing. Branded has been viable for years, so we Gucci. Yes, sir, Peeps Gaming. Honestly, Branded is, like, I made a short one day. I'm like, there are 2 decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! That have been perennially good since they came out, and that's Sky Striker and Branded. Like, you could play both decks in any format since those decks came out, and, like, you could do something. Like, obviously, like, Sky Striker and Branded have had their lows where, it's going to be still, like, hard to top a regional with it, but, like, they were still, like, playable. It's just, I'd like to see, like, maybe a middle ground with more decks being able to be like that, because there's just, like, I feel like I can count decks on, like, one hand that have been viable across, like, 5 years, right? Like, when that's, like, kind of been Konami's stated goal for, like, players to be able to take, like, whatever deck that they want to a tournament and still be able to at least, like, win a few games. But people in the
deck that was playable for a long time that Konami decided to almost completely delete, Dragon Link.
Dude, someone mentioned Borreload Savage, and I feel bad for D-Link players. I mean, to be fair, like, the new D-Link...
they just made all of those monsters generic. Why was Borreload generic?
Yeah.
I don't get that, bro. The entire rest of the thing requires, like, at least a rocket or a dark, and I get it, it's kind of not generic in that regard, but, like, it's still... Isn't it just completely generic? Like, it's just... What?
I mean, they're getting the new overframe cards.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Them not having the negate for Savage makes their board a lot more susceptible to board breakers and stuff.
Savage is just such a good card. There's a reason that end boards in general were just throwing a Savage Dragon on it. Savage Dragon is just disgusting.
Yeah.
And most decks were playing Link monsters, and a level 8 synchro has been easy to make since the beginning of synchros. Like, 2 level 4s. Oh, whoop. What deck doesn't have at least access to... There's not many that don't have access to a level 8 in some ways. Like,
Konami needs to just do an errata.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do with the new support, but I don't expect it.
That's the thing about a lot of cards. Like, I know that they failed with some of the erratas they did in the past, but like, if they actually genuinely looked at some cards, they could come off the ban list the next day, tomorrow, with an errata, because they would no longer do anything with the errata outside of the deck they're made for. There's plenty of cards like that that could come off the list just because, oh hey, it's no longer a generic monster. Wow, what do we do now? It's just going to be playable in Rockets. Rockets gets their boss monster.
Which,
Cool.
you know, would not make Rocket a, like, meta threat, realistically.
It would make Dragon Link, it would probably bring it back to where it was, where it could absolutely contend, perform, and it might do well at Worlds or something like that, because it does have a lot of good utility pieces, and it probably could perform very well, but would it be a top tier contender? It almost never really was. It just kind of came out of the blue every now and then and was like, hey, I'm still here.
It's
Giving
kind of
them back
crazy.
Savage- Sorry, go ahead, Meta.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if you guys mentioned this, but even with the Chaos Origin support, Dragon Link is doing nothing in the OCG with Savage. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. Like,
Yeah, because
That's
Savage
exactly the
doesn't
thing
do
about it.
anything, but like it gives them a little bit of nib protection and board breaker protection. But they still lose to Droll, they still lose to Fua, right? Like, there's plenty of others. They'd lose to like Ash Imperm on certain hands. Like,
genuinely, the problem with Savage Dragon is that it's just generic, and that other decks could play it.
Who had the idea of making Savage generic is a monkey.
I mean, the people who made half of these monsters generic, something like Baron de Fleur.
Oh my god.
Did it
Don't
need to
don't
be
let me
generic?
get started on that.
Did it
Don't let
need
me get
to be
started on that.
generic? I'm so sorry for bringing it up, but like, am I wrong? Did it need to be a generic monster?
I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Habakiri is a perfectly designed card.
Oh,
Wells
all the roads lead to
312.
Abakiri.
Wells 3, yeah, that's true. Wells 312. So we all agree this list is terrible. I mean, I like the list as a branded player, but even as a branded player, it's still kind of like an 8 out of 10 list where like they obviously missed a few bans, and like, why is Draco Tal, Altharion, and Lucius at 2? Like, if they're just hitting the Rahu to 1, like those like the Altharion to 2 makes no sense. Like, that deck was already running 2 Altharion with the branded package, so it's just like a waste of space. And like, why is Maki next there? Are we stopping an FTK with Noroi? You already banned Noroi. Like, I don't know what's I don't even think it was through Noroi either. I just there are just some really randomly bad hits on this list, and then I do think that there are some very solid hits. Yeah, Snow is like very temperamental, and like that card might just be on the ban list again. But you know, I felt like that was like a daring unban, considering the fact it puts another deck into the meta and lets people deck build. And that's the kind of deck building I like, is where they release these cards that like in a limited kind of format, rather than making no hard restrictions on cards. Like, you know, I was saying this before, how the recent card design has been all about making slop piles, but to be fair, that's how it's always been, I guess. You know, when we look at Baron and Apo and Savage, these cards that should have had archetypal restrictions, like it's just forever the issue with modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not having proper restrictions. Like, I remember playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in 2014, and we used to complain because there was no real deck building in the game, because everything was archetypal locked. Like, there was no point in running like 3 archetypes and one besides Hat. Like, Hat was like the first deck that was like that in such a long time, since like GOAT format, where you just threw a bunch of shit into a deck and made it work. And now that's just Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, because of the fact that there are no hard limits, and it really makes the cards suffer, right? Like, Fallen of the White Dragon's probably going to get limited in like a year because of how it's fucking the lock isn't hard enough. You know, Rahu could have been a card that says lock you into Draco Tals for the whole turn or something like that, or even fusions to prevent the Ecclesia line, and it would have been a card that probably didn't need to go to 1 at that point, right? Like, we don't and same with like Baron. in Savage. Like these cards, it would be great to have them for the decks that could run. Like Speedroid would love Baron, right? Like in Dragon Link
If it
would
was
love
wind
Savage.
locked you, if you needed actual wind monsters to summon it or something like that, yeah, there are plenty of decks that would still be able to run it, but it would be far less used. And they really just did not do anything like that. And you're right, it really has been a long time.
I'll say this as far as the ban list goes. Now, it's been like 2 hours since we started discussing about it, but after like 4 or 5 hours, we will look at this ban list again and we'll say, "Oh, strange! We forgot about mentioning this," or we will call this ban list strange, and we will realize we are not actually happy about, because people are never happy. There are some things that Konami missed on purpose or not, but there's never going to be a perfect ban list like ever. People are still going to complain. People are still going to find flaws in everything. So as far as a banded player, I'm very happy about it, but I acknowledge the fact that they forgot about putting major stuff in there. Like Di-Fi should have been at 1, Mistaken Arrest should have been at 1, or banned even. Shifter, I don't know why it's still there. There are many cards that should have been hit, but for now we take what we take, and we still run with it.
Yeah, that's why I said I never really get excited for ban lists anymore. It's just, it's not that I shouldn't, or there's nothing that I'm not looking forward to, but there's very few things that Konami could do in one ban list, I feel, that would actually make me go, I love this ban list entirely. This is like almost perfect. There's been
We will never love a ban list entirely. We will never love a ban list entirely. There are still going to be flaws. Anyway, the only thing I'm really concerned about is the impact of Harmonia brings to the TCG, because I'm really curious about that. Other than that, I mean, I'm gonna study the meta, and I'm gonna prepare for the European Championship.
Good luck, man. I do appreciate you coming through, Angra. Like, honestly, it's always great to have you on these streams, and I'm looking forward to seeing you crush over there in Italian land with the best deck.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now I have to go. See you, buddies. Bye.
See you, man. Bye now. Where's the dimensional shifter ban? I mean, I just don't think they're banning shifter. Like, Konami, for some reason, likes having these, like, one of just, like, power cards that, like, win the game if you draw them, right? Like, it's like the anime moment or whatever, where you draw, like, I don't know what would be where you draw Exodia or whatever, like, or you draw, like, the card you needed and it wins you the duel. It's unfortunately just kind of what it is. So I wasn't personally expecting a shifter ban, but it's like something that, you know, in a perfect world. Oh, sorry, what's up, Wheels?
The thing is, I'm pretty sure every single VSK9 player, or just in general, any person who has been playing a shifter has drawn it at least once a set, if not twice a set against me, since it's still gone to 1, and it's still just as infuriating, because it's like, bro, what is happening?
I have had a small child at my locals loop shifter on me with Exo Sisters. So
yep.
If anybody here wants shifter banned, like, I am on a crusade for that card to get banned.
Here's the thing, even when I played a deck that could use shifter, I didn't bother. I preferred having access to my graveyard in more scenarios than not, and that card, I got shifted in game 1 and 3 against KSV9 2 games in a row, or 2 different sets in a row, and I was just sitting there looking at myself, why do I bother?
It sucks, right? Because that's a card that, like, says you can't play the game. So, like, you know, I'm not saying, like, shifter should stay. I just, like, Konami unfortunately likes having these cards that just give free wins to players just on a silver platter, which I don't think is a good gameplay experience. Like, I've seen people want to quit the game over cards like that, so I think overall it would be more positive impact to
the thing about cards like that is it completely takes away from the skill level of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that good players aren't using cards like that. They are. But the problem is it can mean that even somebody who's not very good at the game just starts running away with games because, oh hey, they just draw one of these few power cards all the time. Looks like they're just gonna keep winning. That's just how it feels sometimes. Like, it's not that you can't win some games, but the opportunity for you to actually play and fight back to attempt to win this game is completely taken away from you.
See, one thing I would love, like, I agree with Meta in that, like, I don't expect Konami to ban it, and that they seem to just have this, like, weird fixation on keeping these one-ofs legal. But at the very least, what I would love is if we had some sort of, like, figurehead going to, like, big events and doing interviews where they could be asked about cards people want to see on the ban list. They could be asked about new sets coming out, or decks that haven't gotten support, and if the teams just, like, have someone representing Konami at these big YCSs that we're all tuned into as a community, who's there to be the community head, to communicate with the community on all this different stuff. Everyone seems to like the guy that brought in the briefcase for the ban list, however long ago that was, at one of those YCSs, and then we haven't done anything like that since. I don't get it.
That would be cool, because like they do surveys for Master Duel in a similar sense, where they ask like people what you would want to see banned, and that would be like a really good idea. If anyone from Konami is watching, like having Kangas go around like in those in between rounds things, like being asked like, what would you want to see banned right now? What card would you want to see back in the game? And maybe even exit surveys for the YCS in that regard. Like let's just say you're dropping or whatever, you get a survey thing that you can submit that like has that kind of information. You get entered in for a raffle for like one of those plushy rescue rabbits that they always do. Like I think that would be a cool way to interact with the community, because I think there's no excuse for like Dimensional Fissure not being on this ban list, and it's like a really big blight on this list on some level. Because that was the card that like everyone wanted to see go, and with Mitsu becoming one of the best decks, like that's just going to be just like such a staple in decks like that, or like Doom Z. I do see a lot of people saying Retaliating C, like maybe that's going to be out of the format, which is like at least maybe because of Draco Tal, but I do like I wish Mario and Brandon were still here, but I could still see people running that card in the side deck because of just how good it is into Cool Tune and like other decks like that. But Branded Enjoyer, how's it going? My go over on Master. Branded Enjoyer is about to just like literally take over with the new branded support. I can't wait to see your high level gameplay when the new branded support comes out on Master Duel next month. Geez, why do they hate Draco Tal over in the TCG? Ayo, what the fuck? What did Branded Fusion do? That's more or less of a hit to Draco Tal and all these because like I think at 2 it was kind of just a card that you could shove into decks that were like like Lunalight, or Lunalight a lot less so, but it was topping Branded Lunalight, but mainly Draco Tal, and it makes it so it's like are you gonna run the one Branded Fusion Draco Tal? Like seeing 1 versus 2 in a 40 card deck is just like such a huge difference in percentages. So as a way to make it so like the new cards don't get hit, I felt like that was a good sacrificial lamb. But it's kind of like Zay said, like now it's like what happens the next like 6 months to a year with Branded, right? Like if Branded ends up, I don't think Branded will ever take over like Draco Tal did though, so I'm not sure if we'll ever see like more significant hits outside of like Fallen of the White to 1 or something like that. But obviously I'm not someone who likes to shoot my own deck in the foot. I think we need to see how things play out, and I'm not asking for any hits at this point. And I thought Branded Fusion to 1 was just like a good way to address Branded when people are like, oh, Branded just almost won 4 nationals, even though all the nationals were below 400 people. But having that as a way to be like, oh, we hit Branded, like that's kind of what like Noroi felt like, honestly, on some level. Like Ripper was the issue, but like they still banned Noroi, and like I guess I was hearing some people say before like you guys aren't going to be running the VS or the K9 engine maybe even anymore, besides just like a small Azuna package. So I guess maybe it was a bit more of a significant hit in that respect. But Ogre back in the side deck. What's up, Alex IndieX? I was waiting for you. How you doing, Alex? How was your pizza? Not only that, but having one of power cards encourages cheaters, to be honest. If you have one card in your deck and only that lets you win, wouldn't you want to have that as often as possible? I mean, to be fair, like, I feel like they would still, like, cheaters will cheat no matter what. If it's a one of or a three of, and cheating is an unfortunate aspect of any card game, and so people should stop doing that.
It does. I will say, like, I don't know about the cheater thing, but like cards like Shifter and Fissure existing do like facilitate people gravitating to decks that like wouldn't otherwise really see play, that like don't really feel like they're like worthy of like competing outside of just like stealing free wins. Like to a certain degree, I felt like K9 VS was doing that last format. Like it wasn't really performing unless it saw D Fissure.
Well, to be fair, I mean, it was it did win 2 out of the 3 of the 300ths, right? So
and my boy did not pay debt fee, bruh.
I do see what you mean. Like, I was testing against this man in the chat, Sonic, and my boy Dylan at YCS Richmond, and games 2 and 3 would happen, and then I'd see D Fissure, and I'd just pack up my stuff.
No, it does still win. I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying that's the only. It needs that to win, but it does help you win for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm overstating it a little bit, but I'm just trying to get at the point of like these cards, like these power cards that just aren't fair and shouldn't be in the game. They encourage people to like go play these decks, and these decks have unfair win rates because of them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Bro, Rahu needs to
I know how many times I've done. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm glad you're still here, Sonic. I didn't know if you were here. I mentioned VSK9 to get you in here.
Oh, I'm in it now because I'm doing stuff. I don't know how many times I just did shift and they're like, let's go to game 2. I didn't even play. I didn't even know what they even had. They just like, nah, we go to game 2.
I mean, half the time, if you know that you're not going to be able to do a lot under Shifter, saving yourself the time for the second 2 games where you aren't under a Shifter is most of the time better for you, especially if your play lines are just going to be so hindered by it that it's not worth it for you, that you might still lose anyway.
Yeah.
If you could still win through a Shifter, then by all means go for it, but most of the time it's just kind of worth it to go next. Especially in a tournament setting where you don't want to go to time and just get a double loss. Like, much rather just give yourself the better chances of game 2 and 3.
Yeah, I remember my last regionals I went to, and I had everything, and he let me play, and then I had Nori to look at his hand. He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna go to game 2." He didn't even let me look at his hand. But kind of find out it was Drake Hotel, and then I proceed to die him and rotate and see him, and I know he was pissed, bro. He was pissed, bro. He forgot to give me one of my cards. I had to tell him like, "Yo, okay. Oh no, he forgot to sign the paper." I was like, "Yo, can you sign this?" He was pissed. Oh, he got wrecked, bro. Oh my god, he got wrecked. I got him so pissed. He thought that Saruja is a constant thing. I'm like, no, dude, you get that one boost and that's it. He thought like every time I summon something on the end, that same card gets boosted again. I'm like, bro, that would be cracked. And he calls a judge, and it's like, no, that'd be a burn card if he keep doing that. He really thought and it wasn't somebody who was a noob either, but I had him so pissed he forgot what cards actually do, bro. That's how tilted I had him. Oh my god, that was funny. That's my highlight of that regional.
Cards like Di-Fi, Shifter, etc. will always carry you in games. I mean, it would just be nice if we got away from that card design. I think it was kind of like Brandon was saying before about Naturia Rose Whip being a easily accessible summon in Cool Tune decks, just like where like Cool Tune still probably like has a great chance of winning going first. They don't need Rose Whip, but Rose Whip completely takes away the thinking and like the interaction, and that's what we should be going more towards. Like we should be getting rid of these cards that remove just brain capacity from gameplay, right?
That's why cards like D Fissure or Shifter should go as well. Is it also helps players who are not as skilled compete against players who are, and it's not that that's necessarily a problem, but if you just win because of these easy win cards, you don't learn anything. You won't get
Facts.
better at the game. Therefore, you should not have these win con buttons or these easy win buttons because it will not help progress your state in the game.
Yeah, I think that's huge, honestly. Like, I think a lot of branded players, when Gimmick
And that's
Up It
why
was a
I
thing.
bring up the skill thing. It's not that I don't want people to express their skill. I want people to be able to express the extent of their skill. And these cards completely take that away.
And to that point, I kind of want to like question, like, I think a lot of new players may have came in and you know, came on board with like Draco Tail, maybe came back to the game, whatever. And now with a deck like Draco Tail, which is like, you know, kind of gets hated on for being like low to the ground and whatnot. And it's, you know, boring to play against sometimes and all that, fair. But like, I'd rather a new player be gravitating to something like that as opposed to like, let me just play a shifter deck because I'm gonna win like whatever 10% of my games just activating shifter. And this list is like going in the complete opposite direction of that, of like neutering a noob friendly deck that, you know, is fair-ish.
Actually help them express their skill level through playing.
Yeah, and leaving these, if not only leaving them intact, but like, I think in some ways this list kind of molds the meta, especially with Cool Tunes being the new best deck on the horizon that also loses to these floodgates. Like the meta is just begging for these sorts of decks to creep in and just ruin games.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. It's gonna be interesting to see how things shape up, and unfortunate when we see, like, you know, on a feature match like D-Fissure or like Di-Fi get, or sorry, Di-Fi or DDG get flipped around, when we could just be like having more interactive Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's where I think a lot of people are being mad on. Like, I think that the two people who the two groups of people who don't like this ban list are people who are upset about the floodgates not getting hit, which I completely agree with, frankly, but and then Draco Tail players, frankly, but I you know, we'll see how everything goes. I felt like the Synchro Overtake hit was actually kind of like interesting because they never like pre-hit the best deck, and they did pre-hit the best deck. I mean, it wasn't even a pre-hit. I guess it was like a week into it, but that would have been like if like if like Malice had like fucking like one of their cards limited on like that ban list with OSS or something, but they just, like, people were complaining.
Goes to 1 on that ban list or something.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think it was so vocal though, like on Twitter, as someone who's like tapped in onto that, like a lot of people were just not looking forward to this format. So I think Konami saw that, and like I talked with Paul, Team APS, about this in a podcast that hasn't come out yet, but I do have to get that out eventually. But like Konami watches, like Konami has their, like, of TCG has their finger on the pulse of the community. Like someone said in here, and like someone from Konami probably watched this stream, and that's probably true. Like, I don't know, like their team isn't huge, but like they do pay attention to what people say. It's just like that's what like boggles my mind on like the Di-Fi hit, when like that was like everyone said the moment last ban list dropped, Di-Fi is going to be an issue, and it's going to continue to be an issue. It just fell off for like 2 months for some reason. I don't quite understand, to be honest, because it was still great into Detail, which was still the best deck, but I don't know. Obedience Schooled went to 1 fast. I guess that was kind of a pre-hit, but I think that was like a month or two after the deck was out. Like, this is a week after Cool Tune got hit and overtaken and Rose Whip got banned. And Rose Whip doesn't really even affect it. I mean, I guess it does affect a little bit of how good Cool Tune is, because like they can just look at your hand and then fucking Rose Whip if your hand says I lose to Rose Whip. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how this happens. I think the top decks are pretty I'm not gonna say defined, but like I think stuff like Fairy Tale might end up creeping in because of snow. But I think overall, like, it's looking like Doom Z, Elf Note, Branded, and Cool Tune is the best decks, with like the Justice Hunter decks there, and then also Mitsu. striker. So it should be a diverse enough format, and I love diverse formats. It's just not trying to drag on this point with the floodgates, but it's just like that's going to be like we all see this coming a mile away. What the worst part of this format's going to be, and that's going to be post side. At least game ones will be really
And
good.
the thing about it is there are some decks that are going to play floodgates in their main board. And
Doom
you
Z
just
literally
won't
does
ever
that in
be able
Wheels.
to- Yep, and that's exactly the point. You will not be able to avoid these cards in even game one.
Yeah.
It's almost like going on Master Duel, and I don't really have a huge problem with Master Duel, but the amount of cards that people are willing to play because it's a best of one format means you quite literally cannot prepare for everything. When generally speaking, you can subjugate a lot of cards to be mainly sideboard cards, and you can kind of prepare for what your opponent's going to have main board.
That's a
It
really
takes
good
a
point.
lot away from deck building. It takes so much away from the skill level of the game. It makes formats like this, while diverse, very unfun. And as much as I do love playing some formats because of the diversity of some of them, one that I actually do kind of enjoy that a lot of people don't seem to is Tengu Plant format. I think that the amount of decks that are playable, especially outside of the top 3, there's like 25 different playable decks if you don't look at the 3 best decks in the room. It's actually kind of crazy what you can attempt to play. Stuff like that is amazing to me, but when it's completely surrounded by the fact that Floodgate in your main board or floodgates everywhere else, it takes so much away from it because those decks aren't going to actually see anything, or if you want to try to do anything else because it's a semi-diverse format, you might be able to bring a win with your rogue deck or something. You're completely shut out by these decks just playing floodgates. It completely changes that math.
They
It
smoked.
kind of forces you into this weird area where you have to play one of the best decks to truly feel like you're doing anything.
Yeah, since you can just like use your deck's ability or just power to like just go through like some of these non-games, or just like run
because
them
some
yourself.
decks can fight through some of these. Some decks can fight through some of these floodgates, and it kind of encourages you to play these decks instead, or to play these decks that, hell, if you can afford to play through a shifter or something on some of your hands or most of your hands, because why not? There's just your deck's just good enough for it.
Or
There you
you're
go.
playing one of the best decks just to like have as good of a win rate as possible when you don't run into the floodgates.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
because your
what
opponent isn't guaranteed to draw them, but like the chance of it happening is still there.
That's what Andrea Torres was saying in the chat before. He's like running Elf Note, not Art Mage, whatever, Elf Note branded, because it's not even like the best stack, or like in his opinion, I mean it's up there, but like he said it's not even the ceiling, it's just the fact it doesn't lose to floodgates. He said his home country, he's playing in his nationals this weekend, I think it's Colombia, and he said like everyone's running floodgates, like it's like defissure, like everything, so he has to run, instead of running branded, which is probably a better deck still, he's playing something that's safer into floodgates specifically, which is just kind of a crazy calculation, but it also like works. Like Kamal just got 3rd place at regional, I think, with the same deck, and that's where he got the idea. So unban Electromite. Yeah, Electromite, I felt like if there was going to be any ban list, the Electromite came back, it would have been this one. Maybe next ban list, but if Fairy Tale Snow came back, I think Electromite definitely has the possibility of. I'm not.
As a Pendulum player, I will advocate for one thing and one thing only: you cannot bring Electromite back. As much as I love that card, it would encourage me to play Pendulum again, because I love Pendulum that much. It just could not come back because of everything it enables through Pendulum. They want to stop FTKs. There are decks that become FTK decks because Electromite just becomes legal. Unless they plan on hitting decks and a few Pendulum decks just right off the gate for no reason besides they're bringing back Electromite, it does not make sense to bring back Electromite. As much as I love that card and I want to play Pendulum, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree, just because every time I see that card get resolved in Master Duel, I'll like Ash it, and then they just like make another, or like, I don't know, they like reset it or something and make it again, or I don't even know. It has like 3 different effects. Like, it's also like a soft once per turn. It's just like such a crazy card that I think like they just need to print a Electromite that's like more healthy for the game, which I guess they tried to do and they keep doing. I just I'm not
To be
sure.
fair, Beyond the Pendulum is a perfect example of a healthy Electromite. I love Beyond the Pendulum. It is so close to being like an actual Electromite. It is so close, but it's an actual healthy version of the card.
What about Shade the Obscure?
Oh, the new card also it's a BPA. Did you see
I
that,
do love
Wheels?
Shade.
Yeah, did you read
I
that?
do love those new Pendulum cards that are coming out. I think it does a good bit for Pendulum. I think that it'll make some decks kind of playable, but they're still gonna struggle because it's Pendulum, and it doesn't have Electromite.
That's
While
what
we're on
makes
the topic
it.
of the new cards, what do we think of the new Super Poly target we just got? The TCG exclusive Fata Dragon, I think.
What is it? Is it like the same type and what isn't it just worse Garura for its like what are the materials it
Same
needs?
type and attribute, but different levels.
Different levels.
Yeah, I don't like that personally, but because it summons like a fusion that's like negated. Like, is that something that like helps branded? I mean, I always think about it from a branded lens, but like, isn't that like supposed to be for like a fusion deck like branded? But like, to me, like, what does that do for me bringing out a negated fusion monster? I don't know if Zay, you've thought about it at all. I don't have too much of an opinion besides I'd run Garura
Well,
still.
I mean, off top, the immediate thing I think of is like Albalanetis lines, where you like summon out like an Albion, and then just like, you know, if you have Albaz in rotation, then you can just like use it to go into Albalanetis, you get a couple swings in the battle phase, and then because the Albion's in your graveyard, you get to activate its end phase effect, so you get some value out of it that way. I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
I think for branded, that's just about the only thing you can really do for it, and it's not like awful. But I think that in general, it's kind of nice for some fusion decks, but like.
Flame Swordsman. Flame Swordsman.
I mean,
Yeah,
it protects you from targeting, but you know, most decks have non-targeting stuff now, so.
I mean,
it doesn't.
Can't you summon it off Metamorphosis?
Well, I mean, you can summon anything off Metamorphosis.
Yeah, but it's still targeting protection, like most decks target.
Well, the thing is, a lot of decks target, but there are a lot of things that also just don't target. Now, there are a great deal of things that do target. I will give you that. I think that it could be very good. It just depends on what people are playing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you think about a lot of decks that have like the same type and attribute, generally speaking, it's because they're playing something that is the same level. If you think about something like Burning Abyss, they're all level 3 Dark Fiends. You're not going to be able to summon a Fata Dragon against it.
I'm just
But
saying
there are scenarios where it doesn't always line up like that, where you could. It isn't awful. I think that it just depends on what you're up against.
I'm just saying it in the sense of the ban list that we got Metamorphosis back, so I thought it was kind of a card built.
What's the level for Fata Dragon?
I believe it's 4.
It's 5.
Oh, it's 5?
If it were a 4, then you could just go into it off of like any of your level 4s you're playing. I think that it being a level 5 is a little bit trickier, but
You can,
use
can
the
technically
fusion.
summon it off instant fusion, right?
You could summon it off instant fusion. That's true. I think that you might be able to do some tricky and funny things with the monster you summon off of it with Metamorphosis. Because you get a free fusion monster with its effect negated. That's just a free body you could use Metamorphosis for to summon something.
Why is Noroi on the list? I just got here. I think that's just the VSK9 hit. This is the ban list that rotates out Justice Hunter's format a little bit. So this was just, it was either that or Ripper getting banned, and they, instead of just banning the card that, like, was the figurehead of Justice Hunter's format, they decided to, hit Noroi, which, you know, I felt like that was a decent enough middle ground.
I mean, K9 is still playable.
Yeah, it was a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Any
They just play
other...
more spells now. More things to search.
And Draco Flames out of the meta, so there you go. Your pot of extravs are always resolving. Congratulations. Yay, no Lunalight hits. That's something I was somewhat surprised about, but like, what would... I guess it would have been just Liger to 1, which I am somewhat surprised that didn't happen. Like, that would have just fit in on this ban list, like, pretty perfectly, frankly. But also, it's not, like, a deck that has, like, high representation. Like, let's just be... Like, it has, like... I think it overperforms at top tables. Is kind of what that is. Like, it won a regional by me, but, like, it's, you know, it got second at Worlds and things like that, but... I don't know, it's not something that I think it's necessarily a pressing issue, so that's probably why that didn't get
I
hit.
don't think they hit the other things around it enough to really make it deemable. Like, the other things are hit, but you can keep Lunalight around for a little bit. It sees a low amount of play at the moment from what I'm aware. I know I hear people playing it, but I don't see it being played very often almost anywhere. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it does pop up, but I generally find, like, 1 in every 400 people actually playing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it actually pops up very often.
Yeah, if
Despite
they
the
were to
fact
hit
that the cards
Liger
aren't
to
good.
1 in this format, it would nuke the deck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, it would just delete it from existence again.
I mean, Lunalight is still getting new support, so we might see a ban if the new
But that's the
support is
thing. Why
really
would they, if it's getting new support cards, they don't want to hit it and discourage people from getting these new cards before it's been released, you know? It's another marketing thing.
Yeah. Is it weird that I feel bad for Draco Tail a little bit?
Never feel bad for Dracotal players. They've had it good for too long. I'm suing Konami TCG for being high. That's crazy. I feel like they only hit Overtake this early because they don't want to do another list anytime soon, so they're actually thinking ahead for once. Yeah, that's a good take, Magic Geek. I don't think we're getting a ban list until like August or September at this point. Like, it'll probably be a four-monther. Until after Worlds, they're probably looking at for the next list. I will metamorph your dinner salad into a pizza for 2 so you can invite over your girl. That's crazy. I do appreciate that, though. But yeah, you are going... Those pizzas in the chat made me wanna skip out. I don't know. I'm gonna go to the gym after this and try to continue my healthy lifestyle. But I've also the last 2 days not eaten very healthy, so that's probably not a good thing. They smoked Vanquish Soul 2 weeks after Holisu came out. This was not... What? When did they do that? Like, I thought that was the same list they banned Paradise, which happened like a month into Justice Hunters format. That was like 3 months after I thought Holisu came out. Am I wrong? Like, maybe I'm getting the timeline.
Did we have an
wrong.
emergency ban list?
Yeah, we did.
Was that the emergency ban list where they fucking did all those VSK9 hits? No, I precisely remember VSK9 being like the best deck for at least like 2 months when Justice Hunters came out. Like, and VS did not get, like, when Holly Suit came out like 2 months before Justice Hunters, or like a month before Justice Hunters, and it like almost won a YCS.
Yeah.
When are we getting the Malice Link one? We need that now. Okay, someone banned Doom Promethean in the chat. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Why is the stream cover the old ban list? Because I had to rush out a thumbnail, so I always do that with these ban lists. I never have one prepared. I just go live and I just take the one from the last one. I'll try to
And how
remember.
could you be prepared, dude?
Dude, I was
dropped so
20 minutes
suddenly.
late. I was 20 minutes late, dude. I was just talking with friends and doing laundry, and then
I was at work when it dropped, bro. Like, how do you think I feel? They always do this to me. And they always drop it like a half hour before I'm out of work.
Oh,
so I don't get
no.
to see it for like a solid hour before it's actually out, if not 2 hours
Yeah.
before the thing's out, and I'm just sitting there like, bruh.
What do you think about super duper polymerization and branded? I'm not a big fan, but also I can see its usefulness maybe as a one of to tech in to search off a Lenatus, since we only have one branded fusion, especially now, as like a breaker over like your second or third droplet or something if you're running the Crown Gold Glot package. Overall though, it not being a quick play like really hurts that card in my opinion. Like, I just don't think it's fast enough for the current game, nor good enough. Like, maybe if it like extended or started your engine somewhat on its own plus being a breaker, it would be way better, but at the moment it's just being a normal spell card really hurts that card. But I wouldn't doubt if we saw some branded lists, maybe tech it in the future. Are you Oh, sorry. Yeah, EPA and Zay, what do you guys think about super duper poly and branded? I'm gonna go use the bathroom, so if you guys want to take over the mic for 2 minutes, I'll be right back.
Sure.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. I think it's fine. I genuinely thought they were gonna probably like maybe hit super poly, so it kind of forces us to use super duper poly. I think it's a decent tech, but I think its use cases are kind of weird. I feel like it's more just for specific decks more than just a generic option.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's like some like perfect target that comes out for it, for like the exactly cool tune or whatever is the like in the future the best meta deck. I don't really see this card having too much of a playability factor. Like, its only real redeeming quality, I think, is that it's a thrust target. Other than that, like, I don't really see much rationale to play it. It's just
too weird to use, right?
Yeah, there's just so much more straightforward cards. Like, if you are even considering playing this, like, why not just play Super Poly? And yeah, so yeah.
Doesn't negate the effects of the monster summon?
Yes.
Yeah, so what's even the point of using it? Like, I guess if you want to go out target Albaz into Branded Dragon and then summon Mirror Jade off it, but it's like I feel like there's probably like just a better line to go into.
Super Poly into Secretarion Dragon. Like, what are we doing here? Why am I paying 2,000 life points and jumping through 17 other hoops to resolve this card?
Yeah.
Like, I guess the only redeeming quality of it that sort of sets it apart is that it's a thrust target. But to Meta's point, like, that's just a little bit too slow in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! To, like, matter.
I mean, you could still search it off of Lenatus, but that's, again, I don't really see this card doing much while the original Super Poly is still there.
Yeah, no, I just can't see it. Like I said, unless at some point we get the stars align and there's just like a perfect like overpowered extra deck target to use this against like the best deck in the format.
But even then,
randomly.
you also have to play a deck that matches its type and attribute. Do you not? Because it's like you target a card, then summon a fusion monster with the same type and attribute.
That's what I'm saying. So you need you would need like there to be a perfect super poly target. Like the closest we have right now is like Sea Monster of Theseus, but then you also have to have one of your own monsters sort of match that, which Branded can kind of do. We have some tuners and whatnot, but it's still just like, again, like, why would you play this over Super Poly? Why, unless you're wanting to play both, which why? And then it's, yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like super duper polymerization just feels way too overbalanced.
Yeah, I just don't think it's like actually I don't think it's gonna be actually that kind of I mean, we'll see. Like maybe there will be a format where it comes up where it's just like that solves the board, right? Like that solves the best on board, but as of right now.
Maybe one day if they ban like super poly, who knows?
Yeah, imagine the next super poly target is same level and attribute, different types. I mean, I think that's like literally isn't that literally the hero fusion or the hero super poly target that's coming out eventually? Like I'm pretty sure we got the reverse.
I still think the Theseus price is crazy.
What? How much is Theseus right now? Like I did see
in the UK it's £16.
Damn.
£60, you said?
16. So it's like $22.
I mean, to be honest, like that seems somewhat understandable given how old it is, and I guess it's a $20 card here in the US, so I guess it's.
I don't really understand why, but you typically with Yu-Gi-Oh, we'll get like a transfer, so it'll be like you'll get a dollar price, and then they'll just put a pound in front of it, and we end up paying more for it. Typically, how it works over here.
Yeah.
Even though our money is technically worth more, which does not make sense to me.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I paid for my Mirror Jade in pounds, and the conversion was kind of was a lot more or whatever than what I thought I was paying, but that happens every time I buy cards over from the UK. I'm like, oh, I'm just paying way more than I thought I was, but
yeah, this is why I don't get like we pay a lot over here for things. It's crazy.
Why do you guys have like a different color to your cards too? I always I get Euro prints randomly when I order stuff online, and I'm always just like, why do they have a different color?
You best ask Belgium that, because that's where they get printed.
It's probably just like the trees, literally, like, or like the ink that they use, like however it's made, something like that. But
I think
yeah,
it's just quality control.
I still can't believe I've just bought 2 multi-branded fusions. I guess one's for Genesis now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are we talking about the branded fusion problem? What's the branded fusion problem? Isn't that like one of my video titles I just released? I think branded fusion to 1 is, if you could predict 1 hit on this ban list, it would have been probably branded fusion to 1. Like I think that was the most besides like maybe Rose Whip, like Brandon said.
I wish it wasn't the case, obviously, but like with the way Draco Tail abuses it more than us, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just glad I won't see Draco Tal open up branded fusion 2 out of 3 games. Like that's how I feel good about, or at least 1 out of 3 games.
Imagine still losing to Ketu, Rahu, then Brafu. I'd just be like, no, bye.
They get it.
I mean,
then what's up,
they just
PP?
play a death? I was gonna say, couldn't they just play like a Despian package, like just play 3 Alubers over?
They probably will.
Yeah, I mean that's what I did in Master Duel when they limited Lucius. Just play Aluber and just search branded fusion.
But then, in that case, isn't it just a worse branded?
Exactly. Here's the thing: they didn't need to do as much as they did for a couple of reasons. I mean, to your guys' point, branded fusion to 1 is more of a hit to Draco Tail than to branded anyways. and then you're gonna hit Rahu to 1, which, I mean, you could have semi-limited it, or you could have just like more harshly hit other cards, but like hitting Rahu to 1 really cripples the deck's grind game, which was, or the engine's grind game, which was the whole like selling point of it. It doesn't have a good ceiling. Its whole point is to have a good grind game, and you've just neutered that, putting Rahu to 1. And they didn't need to do all that because most of the people playing Draco Tail, if you would have just hit Branded Fusion to 1 and then let's say Phimina to 1 and left it at that, most people playing Branded Draco Tail are going to competitively are going to view the deck as being worse than just playing pure Branded, especially just based on the Cool Tune matchup alone. And people are going to migrate away from the Draco Tail anyways. But now what you've done is you've forced everybody, even the people who were actually like genuinely liked it, and you know, maybe new players even that were attracted to it. Now it's just like gutted, and there's really not much. Like you can replace some of the consistency pieces that get you to like the branded cards, but you can't replace the grind game of the deck. Like Showless, yeah, helps, but it doesn't solve all your problems.
Yeah, that's kind of why I feel bad for Dracotel. I feel like it got hit very hard, and I feel like they're printing way too many cards that kind of like counter them specifically.
I was going to say as well, I think that one of the main issues for me with Draco Tail was that all of the creatures do the whole setting, spell or trap, as well as something else.
Yeah.
They could have maybe made 50% of the monsters do that, and I think the deck would be a lot fairer, especially if the more powerful ones didn't have that effect. But now, the fact they all have that effect, you can just get to anything you want in the deck, and this is why they've added the spells, because the monsters are too good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, they could have. I would have even preferred if they would have hit, like, Phimina and Lucius to 1. I think that would have also been aggressive, but if they left Rahu at 3, it would have been less bad.
Honestly, I was hoping that they would just limit Rahu and then bring back Malulu.
That, I
like the
feel
Master
like
Duel
having
Banlist.
Rahu and Ketu at 1 just, like, annihilates the deck's grind game.
It just kills them.
What are we doing about this in branded? Are you talking about the branded fusion to hit? It's just like you're replacing it with a Nadir Servant, a called by, just a card that we would run elsewise. Like I don't like we played branded with one branded fusion, and now we have Wallbaz plus Ecclesia. Like the deck is like honestly, if you're talking like if branded fusion was at 100% with branded fusion at, or if branded was at 100% with branded fusion at 2. It's currently at like 97%. Like it was a very minor hit in my opinion. Like where it will come up is where you don't hard open branded fusion going second, and you have to go last card branded fusion. So you know that will hurt your board breaking potentially, for sure. But like we still have Fav, you know, we still have Dogma, we still have Wallbaz. It's overall still just sunny skies in the branded world. I don't think it's actually gonna.
Yeah, I agree with Chris.
Yeah.
My list is exactly the same. I just slapped in a third in a DS7.
Yeah. Honestly, the only change I would make to my list is like take out a Branded Fusion, move in a Magma Hut, and call it a day.
Because we still don't know if Red's going to be fantastic.
I think Red just spends too many resources.
I disagree. I think Red is like borderline mandatory.
I think Red's going to be nice because of getting Mirror Jade on the unboard with the Synchro line, which is, once again, like I said earlier in the stream, just, like, the amount of times I've had Cool Tune players scoop to just Mirror Jading their first summon is crazy. Like, it is crazy.
There's also just, like, a lot of, like, combo lines that you need to kind of have access to either branded in red or branded in white to help play around some of these banish floodgates with like Spriggan's Kid and Mercurier and all that stuff. So
my opinion on it's basically the decks. There's been a few topping lists without red and white for a while now. They've been fine, honestly. Maybe with Cool Tune it's different because you want the Mirror Jade. Previously, I think we've been fine without it for a little bit.
Yeah, I think old kid is also going to be very important. Yeah.
I don't even know about old kit. I think I still probably won't play it.
I haven't been a big fan of old kit recently, but if you run red, I think, or white, you have to run it. If you don't, then like probably not. That's just where I'm at with that one.
Yeah.
Yo Prado, brand is still the same, nothing really changed. Yeah, I completely agree. It's really just on like the niche cases of just like last card branded fusion. That's where it kind of hurts, but like a lot of the time you're already searching branded fusion off your Aluber from opening after they hit your wall baz or something like that, right? So it's and sometime, and also I think there's something to be said about the positive maybe of branded fusion to 1, right? Like Andres already ran it at 1, and it's also a card that a lot of people have famously said, I mean, I don't know, famously, where like it sits in your hand if you resolve wall baz, right? So like it and going
Does that
second,
feel less bad?
yeah, like
Yeah.
like maybe it'll be a better card in that instance, right? Like going first, I think brand fusion to 1 doesn't matter for the most part, outside of like specific scenarios where they hand trap your wall bows. Which, you know, I think there's a debate, is that even correct to ash wall bows rather than letting them go Ecclesia than ashing it so that they can't use branded fusion to begin with, right? So if overall, I think it's a pretty negligible hit and hits the Draco Tail deck way more. Hey, wasn't there a start of the stream? Do you guys think that Snow or in red would be played instead of the Lost branded fusion? I think that red could potentially. I think Snow is something that should be considered in branded going forward.
It was so broken.
With the synchro lines, I completely forgot Snow is a level 4. I'm just like, fuck, like that actually is just like free body plus interruption. Do
I
we
remember I played it when Snow was last legal as well.
You did, yeah. Did you like it then?
It was really good. Just quick playbook from the graveyard at any point seemed a bit absurd. Actually, because back then I think the deck was playing Foolish Burial as well, so it was like another target instead of your Foolish into your Tragedy. It was a while ago though, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think Snow is going to just be really good this format, especially against Cool Tune, just booking their normal. Yeah.
Bro, if I meta never to 1 never understand that turn 0 cards need to be maxed. I don't quite agree with that. Like, we see Holly Sue being an absurd card at 3. So I think that there is like a middle ground. I also think the new Elf Note card, once the Chaos Origins support comes out, has the potential to be a card that does get limited as well, because that card's actually absurd once Chaos Origins comes out. Like, but
Yeah.
you know, like every deck's getting a 5 mana, so it, or like a card like 5 mana, and I do think that is the future. I just think there is still like, it's not blanket. Like, I still think that they can be broken cards where they might need to get hit if Konami doesn't properly balance it. But yeah, I mean, I always said this, like I said this in my Draco Tal rant, like I'm never losing to 5 mana on my own turn. Like, the amount of times I've lost to 5 mana on my own turn against Draco Tal, I can probably count on like 1 hand. Or 2 hands, maybe. It was always like the Rahu Ketu branded fusion, fucking wombo combo, 2 for 5 special. Would Sword still be good with 1 branded fusion? I was thinking so, but Mario brought up a really good point where it might just not be worth it. At this point, I like my video on Sword was mainly about how like Cool Tune Q banishes that or makes it really awkward if you don't have Sword. But oh no, this ban list is like priming me to grief my YCS Columbus run with 60 card branded. Like, that's my favorite thing to do, is switching to 60 card branded like 3 weeks before a YCS and drawing like double Perulia, fucking going first.
I mean, personally, I still like Sword. I think it's really good in the grind game.
Yeah, it's also just good in the grind game, and especially if you're running snow, you should be running sword.
Yeah.
Also, a cool tune kind of makes it mandatory, so you don't lose your random one-ofs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I'm not trying to have a non-game where they banish my Wallbaz or like Ecclesia, and I'm not running the second Ecclesia, and I don't have the sword to like put that back in rotation. Like I get it, Dogma and Lubellion are cards, but that doesn't always. It's not always the easiest thing to do, especially now with branded fusion at where it is.
What does everyone think of the forbidden spells now that we've not got to deal with Draco Tail?
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, what does everyone think of the forbidden spells? You know, Droplet, Crown. Now that we don't have to deal with Draco Tail, because that was like mainly there for Draco Tail, if I remember.
Crown just got bought out, and it's gonna continue to get bought out.
I think.
Yeah, I'm on about like actually playing them in the main deck now. Since we don't have Draco Tail in the format.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do
kinda
think
always felt like Droplet was top tier non-engine. Like I feel like Droplet is top 5 non-engine in the game, just like on its own. Crown's a little bit different of a story. Obviously with branded because we play
Golglet.
Yeah, Golglet. It's a little bit different. You know, you kind of have to play at least one copy. But I'm playing multiples of Crown, messing around with it at the moment. I like it. I think Crown is pretty disgusting just in general. Obviously it's better going first than going second, but yeah, I think Droplet is still a pretty mandatory card, and Crown is kind of depends on what sort of deck you're playing.
Well, when first, Crown's kind of like a super imperm. It does everything the imperm does better, except from obviously. Except from
I
the
just
back.
think Crown's nuts into KT, and that's why it's getting bought out right now. And if KT is gonna be the best stack, like, I mean, Droplet's like always gonna be a good card. I just think without Flame being everywhere and like Mandate probably not being everywhere, it does become a point where like I think Super Poly is the best breaker definitively besides Fallen and the Virtuous. So it's like you have to choose, are you going to be running a Droplet package too on top of that? And like I'm probably still going to stick to my 2 Droplets and a Crown, but you know, I'm not going to lie, there could be a world where maybe I do like 2 Crowns, 1 Droplet or something. I don't know. It's like Droplet's just so fucking good into KT, it's crazy. But once again, there's gonna be other decks too. I have to see if in Droplet in theory is pretty. I mean, can you use Droplet under the Arise Heart? If you can, then Droplet's pretty good and I mean pretty decent to Doom Z. But what's up, Killstardo? Is it 2022 again with snow legal? I know, right? I'm feeling so nostalgic for when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember like snow was legal and everything like that, and I didn't understand because when I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! No one really was running snow like they were, and then snow got banned. So also, Chris, I see you with the Casanova look today. Dude, I was doing laundry. I hadn't even like too much information. I haven't even showered. Like I haven't even eaten breakfast. Like, dude, I was taking it slow today.
Prepared for this.
I was 20 minutes into the ban list being out, and I was
He didn't get
doing
to rub
laundry.
one out. None of that.
I mean, if he needs to do any of those things, he can just come over to my place. We can help him out in all those areas.
I'll see you later, Wills.
You
Hey,
said,
my
hey,
girl
man,
asked
they
if
don't
you
call me
wanted
a
to come
cat for
over
nothing,
again
brother.
tonight, so.
I also do want to
Sonic
mention
something like that.
Ulquiorra. I have seen your comments. Don't worry, I appreciate you being here since the start of the stream, Ulquiorra. Ulquiorra is famously the guy in my community who loves double locking in branded. He is full-time demon mode branded player where he's like summoning an Ido to your opponent's field and then also summoning a Christia. Like he makes sure that both of the things.
No. No, you
That's
get
wild.
nothing. Man said no.
He's going to the Super Shadow Realm.
No, he's sending you to the Super Shadow Realm. What you talking about?
The super duper shadow run.
Yes, sir.
Super duper saying.
Sword, branded sword, not. Oh yeah, we're running Ryzeal sword and branded now, guys. I'm just kidding, but Droplet is not cuttable. This format is immune to targets. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Droplet doesn't target, so it's always gonna be a great fucking card. Also dodges just like imperm still, right? Or like it's great into RS in Zaylin, right? Like, I mean, so super poly, but you know.
Yeah, the main reason I was asking was like, if we were going to convert it to the side deck, I wasn't on about getting rid of it. Like, obviously, you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. Like I said, I think Droplet is most people should probably be main decking it, I feel like. But you know, you can side it. Crown's a whole different story. But I do think like Droplet's got to be somewhere in your list. Like in basically every deck, frankly. It's just generically broken. Unless you're playing a deck that like, you know, is trying to play D-Fissures and all the rest of that stuff, like Doomsday or Malice or something.
Yeah, it's bad under obviously banish.
I gotta try that. I gotta try Daffy plus Battalion C on somebody. Have both out on the field.
That's just evil. Why are you committing evil sins?
And have shifter. That be just Gucci, bro.
Does Metamorphosis replace our second branded fusion? Okay, this guy's asking the real fucking questions, dude.
That's actually a good question.
I mean,
sure,
you can
why
summon
not?
Invoked Kaliga.
Yeah.
Off of what? What am I doing? What's the
level
target?
4.
Grand Guignol? Or whatever?
I mean, yeah, you can just target any level 4, and that goes into Kaliga. So.
Oh, you said
Kaliga
Kaliga. I thought you said the level 8. My bad.
No, yeah, Kaliga.
And they just start using left hand offer and they add it to hand as well.
Yeah, for any of the level 4, you can use you can go for either Kaliga or you can go for the Neo Space fusion, the Dolphin. It's just a hand check.
Yo, we can play Neo Bubble Mana. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw you say that, EPA, and like that made me raise my eyebrows. I'm like, does he know something I don't? But I don't know. You'll have to show me the spreadsheet on the Neospatian branded deck.
No, I'm just saying you could just play him.
Despia field spell can be thought of as well. Underdog card IMO. I saw someone make a video the other day on like that card in branded, and that had me kind of thinking maybe, like, I don't know. I've never liked that card, but it is another way to fuse. Like, I feel like I'd just run red or white and that, like, even if I'm running red and like I have to choose between the field spell and white, I'd just run white. But that's just me. James knows games. I like that better than branded in red and white. So okay, so James is a fan of Despian Theater. Maybe I'm underselling it. Like, I am someone who got into branded in like early 2024. So like, or no, it was early 2023. Damn, I've been playing this deck for over 3 years. It's a card that was used before that, so it's basically been cut since then. But
it's a cool card, but I think it's dated.
Oh, the field spell? Yeah, I think it's decent. It's just that I feel like you have to facilitate a bigger Despian package.
To be fair, all the brand of hits done for me is put my deck from 41 to 40, so already helped me out.
Yeah. I just feel like Metamorphosis is definitely going to be a card that's going to get a lot of like low level fusion monsters banned really quickly. Like, yeah, Invoke Kaliga, yeah, that's immediately getting banned next list because so many decks can just go into it very quickly like that, you know?
If you get to combo and then you activate Metamorphosis at the end, like, and just slap a Kaliga on your board, that's pretty toxic.
Yeah.
I
don't
think if
know why they bumped it.
Metamorphosis went to 3, like it would probably be a way better card, honestly. Like that card might be an issue if it ever went to 3 on some level with how many good like targets there are in the game nowadays. Maybe at 1 I just don't think that like things will end up getting hit for it.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of FTKs.
I mean, whenever Naturia Exterio is being summonable, it's something I don't. That's not that card's not okay by any means.
Now I'm kind of wondering why they even brung it back because like I feel like I've seen so many people kind of like lab with it and all I saw was just very toxic stuff.
Yeah, I made a similar point earlier. It's I don't really understand why, like, what the point of bringing Metamorphosis back is, considering that, like, yeah, it might not be like all that meta relevant as a one of, because it doesn't like start combos or anything. It just summons like a one of like toxic boss monster. But like, does it need to do anything more than that to be like annoying enough to not want to have it in the game? Annoying, like it just have people just randomly slap a dragoon on your face for free.
Well, that's the thing. Like, aren't we already in a meta like that? That like, on some level, like I don't know what's on some level. Like things almost get pushed to the wayside, even though it's broken, just because of what, like the power creep, like in full. Like someone was saying, like Ritual of Light and Darkness deck at best deck, and like that deck's like actually insane. When it comes out, so I'm pretty sure that deck can make Dragoon too. Like it's just Well, I found out the new Dark Magician of Chaos has a banish too. Like imagine Mirror Jade, but it banishes 2 cards. Like, can't wait for that. But
yeah,
no need to
Not
invest
actually
it.
looked at ritual stuff.
Oh, sorry. What's up, Phil?
I was saying, oh, sorry, sorry, I know my accent's a bit different. I've not really looked into the ritual stuff, to be honest. What does it all do?
I have to look into it more, but let's just say branded is a. That's the thing with branded fusion at 1. It's less of a starter in that deck, but I guess you could also go into Grand Guignol and start your engine that way, because it's basically a ritual deck that has a bunch of 1-card starters in it. Like, tell me if you've heard that story before. But it's a mid-range board. It's basically like 2 different forms of interruption, but it's also very good at like going second, and the interruptions it does have are very strong and they're consistent and they're bridgeable through different engines. Like they also have draw power in Celtic Guardian. Like I think Celtic Guardian, that card can draw like 2 or 3 cards or something like that. Like, so it's a mid-range deck that goes very well with branded. Like I've seen every build run 2 or 3 Fallen of the White Dragons, and I've seen builds run High Spirits, and then also I've seen builds run Branded Fusion. So I'm very much looking forward to playing that. I love Yugi, man. Yugi is my favorite character, so I'm gonna. That's probably the next non-branded deck I'm gonna play. And guess what? I get to still play branded cards in it. So did we ever leave?
No,
It just sounds like it's doing what we do.
Honestly,
as a Joey fan, I hate how much love Yugi and Kaiba get. Not gonna lie.
Here's the I love those new Joey cards that got announced.
Yeah,
and
same.
I've been told that there's supposed to be another wave of support for it, and I'm very much looking forward to its announcement because I've already been cooking with it.
I mean, I've seen the new support. I don't know how it doesn't seem like it's crazy, but yeah.
You know what makes me very upset about this ban list?
No
MX
MX Saber.
Invoker is still gone. Chris knew exactly where I was going with that one.
Next ban list, we still have a few months, dude. It does, at least we have a few more tries with the ban list, dude, because it like that set comes out in like 6 months or something like that in the TCG, so we still have a potential of like 2 ban lists to get us there at least. We'll get them next try.
Yeah. Honestly, the more I look at this ban list, the more I feel like it's kind of a mid-ban list. The more I look at it, again, it doesn't really solve a lot of the format's problems, but it's still a good list regardless. I just feel like there was a lot of bad hits on it.
Yeah, like I don't think this ban list is gonna age well. Kind of like last ban list didn't age well when like everyone was on Di-Fi and it didn't really. But I'm not hating on it as much as other people because some people are acting like this. Like I've literally seen people say this is the worst ban list ever. I'm just like, what are we talking about? Like we just actually addressed like Yummy, Draco Tal.
They're really gonna forget about the Ulti-Canahawk ban list that easily.
Never forget. Always remember.
I will never forget the atrocity that was a 3-card list. It wasn't even. It was 3 cards.
Hey, at least we
That was
didn't
it.
get SP semied.
Like I mean, I guess that's fair. But like, genuinely, like people are going to forget about that Ulti-Canahawk ban list like it didn't happen and call this the worst ban list. I will wait till the day they put a singular card from banned to 1 that nobody gave a shit about anyway, and that's their entire ban list, and then I will accept people saying this is the worst ban list ever. But until that point, I don't think you can top the Ulti-Canahawk one. Like, oh my gosh, dude.
My rule for the ban list in Master Duel and the TCG are if Shifter and Max C are not on it, it's a bad ban list.
I mean, I guess that's honestly fair.
Honestly, I'm just scared about. Go ahead.
To be fair with this list, it's done what it was meant to do. It was meant to like basically take Draco Tail out of the meta. Except from that,
Like
the rest
the thing
of it
is,
was.
I get why people want to
It was
call
with-
it
that's it.
like the worst ban list, but like it still did things in comparison to ban lists that have quite literally done nothing before.
Yeah.
Like you can't this isn't a comparable ban list to the worst ones. I get people are freaking out, but it's quite literally this is tame in comparison to most. This is quite tame of a ban list. Like they could have put 10 other cards on this and it still wouldn't have been considered bad depending on the cards they put on it. There are 10 cards that could have come off the list that everybody would have gone, oh, hey, this is actually a better list than we thought now. Because these cards didn't need to be on the list anyway, so this is like whatever now. Like it.
Who just joined? We got Gravel in here.
Yes.
Hello. Gravel, what did you think of the ban list?
Rest in peace, Draco Tail.
Rip.
Amen.
You will be remembered.
Outside of that,
Was there anything you felt like was missing, or what were your favorite hits?
Good grief, I gotta pull the list up now. Because I got that while I was at work. Give me a second. Rose Whip is up there. I'm happy I don't have to deal with that.
No Roy, that's a good hit, right?
I never really
feel
cared
like-
about the Canine Engine, personally.
I feel like Christio was a miss.
Yep.
Yeah.
They should have hit Christia.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one on there is bringing Metamorphosis back to 1.
Oh, it's definitely hilarious.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Bert, expect a lot of Kaligas.
Also, I do want to say hi to Galzo in the chat. What's up, Galzo? Branded Goat. It killed Draco Tal and banned Rose Whip and did nothing, even though there are 12 more cards. Yeah, I can see why people don't like the list. Like, as a branded main, I don't mind it, but like I will say it felt like there were definitely just like big potholes in the list. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Gravel. I just wanted to say hi to the Branded Goat Galzo in the chat. Check him out, youtube.com/Galzo. When is Konami going to errata more cards to take off the ban list? This list was way bigger, way too big for them having the ability to errata. Well, I'm just like why is Altherion going to 2 and like why is Lucius going to 2 if we're already doing the Rahu hit? It's like it's already dead. Don't kill it more. Like in those spots could have been used for things like Di-Fi, DDG, and things like that. Someone was high doing this list. Yeah. Well, it's crazy because Gelzo, you know, being tapped into the community, like how much people were vocally advocating for D-Fissure to get banned, and they just said no. Like they're like, this card's fair and balanced, not even to one. Like,
Yeah, like the fact that you can run 3 of it's just disgusting.
You know they're going to troll and put it at 1 next list, right?
They're probably just going to make an emergency ban list.
I mean, if they make an emergency ban list and actually go ahead and deal with a few cards, that's actually going to be kind of nice, but I'm really just expecting them to let this ride out for another 3 months.
When was the last emergency?
I believe it was during
It was
it was the 5 floodgate ban list, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Smasher.
Yeah.
The
like D barrier got banned.
Dice Smasher guy, right? Like that one.
I don't know if
Or
we're
no.
at that point where we're gonna get emergency ban, but like or ban list, because it's just so weird that they didn't hit some of these cards that people obviously want when they know people want these cards hit. It's like, who is this for? Like, do Mitsu players work? Like, are they all Mitsu players at Konami? They're like, must keep D-Fissure inside deck. It's crazy.
Do you think they're gonna errata like the cards that just came off the list as soon as it comes out? Like give Snow a once per turn or change the conditions for Metamorphosis?
I'm sure if Wheels would have the same opinion on this. I don't think they're ever going to do an errata again. I think they like fucked up the erratas with like 4 different cards, like Brain Control and like some other cards that were just worse
Imperial
than
Order.
Well, also that too. Either just
Like here's the thing. I get it. The errata did fix some of like the broken problems with the card, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still Imperial Order. What did it actually do? Oh, I can't play my spells anymore. All right. Do you have an in-house way to pop it like Salamangrate does, where they can just Foxy their own Floodgate and then play their spells and then just kill you? Some decks just have the ability to get rid of their own Imperial Order, so it's the same difference. What did it change?
Yeah,
the fact that they should have kept it on the ban list.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like there are certain cards that, like Savage, if they errated it to like require like a Dragon
course, a
Master or
rocket.
whatever. But like also at that point, why don't you just like literally print like retrain it and just make a new card and keep the old card intact for previous formats? That's just like always my issue when like Konami was doing Time Wizard and they're like, oh, you have to use the post errata BrainCon if you play official Edison tournaments, and that's what literally killed Edison. So like for Konami, besides them just like pushing it to the wayside with Genesis. So like errata's always, and same with like Master Duel, like you have to use like current BrainCon and like their old format events. It's like, what are we doing? I'm going to wrap this up in 2 minutes. So if you guys want anyone in the call or anyone in the chat who have anything else to say on the ban list, we should do that. But I do appreciate literally everyone coming through. This was incredible fucking live stream. I've had so much fun. I wish I could go all day, but I do have I need to do some adulting, and I'll probably be back later tonight, honestly, streaming, if not tomorrow. But you know, any final thoughts here in the call on the ban list?
Ban Shifter, ban D-Fissure, Different Dimension Ground, ban Christia, and personal one, but ban Habakiri.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Why do I feel like Snow's only going to really exist for about a year after the new structure deck gets released, and then it's just going to go down the toilet? It'll just be banned again.
They always do that. Like that card, like that's a card where it's just like it's old card design. It's not once per turn. It's just like it gets better. It's like gets better with time. Snow. It's like crazy.
Yep. As more decks can fill up the graveyard more, they will absolutely try to play Snow. Free extender, especially when link monsters exist.
Limiting Yummy Way is the same as limiting SP Little Knight. That's also the thing. Like the Yummy Way, there were, I see why more people are mad about this list because there's like Yummy Way, there's Altharion, there's Lucius, there's the Machinex. Like all those cards could have just been replaced with cards that actually belonged on the ban list. Also, why are we doing semi-limits in 2026? The only cards that deserve to be semi-limited in the game are like Destiny Hero Malicious when it's too good. Like that, like Destiny Hero Malicious is the only card that ever made sense for, like, I wish they would just get rid of the semi-limit list. Because it's like nearly like why was White Rabbit semi-limited? It should have been limited like from the start. Like I don't know.
I completely agree.
I'm still shocked that Mouse is still
The only time that the semi-limited list has ever done anything is, besides Malicious, is Duel Links, where you are forced to only play one card that's limited to one. You can only have one of it. If a card's limited to two, you can only play any two of those cards that are limited to two. That actually did something. Besides that, does nothing.
Yeah, I think it should either be 3-1 or 0.
Yep.
Agreed.
All right. I do appreciate everyone coming through. Thank you all. Thank you to my friends who came through. That was everyone literally. Thank you, Wheels, EPA, Phil, Sonic, Zay, of course. I appreciate you guys, and Gravel for coming in at the end, and then everyone else who came through, everyone who came through the chat. Shout out to Galzo and Andre Torres for stopping through even. We got all the span list is at least bringing out all the branded goats, so if you're playing branded, my final thoughts is play branded this format. It's gonna be the best year to play branded ever. So we will be talking to you guys later. Leave a like, subscribe, click the join button, check out my website, all that fun stuff. You can pick up my merch or my branded spreadsheet, which if you're gonna play branded, 220 plus combos updated weekly with replays and deck lists. Best resource on the internet to learn branded, and subscribe to Branded Games GX. Follow me on Twitter /X. Follow me on Instagram. I had to get all those fun stuff in. So we'll be seeing you guys later. Also, shout out to you, Magic Geek. I appreciate you. That was awesome to have you through. All right, we'll be talking to you guys later. Metagames GX signing